On the microphone when he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he.
Week.
I think, and do we not have you tomorrow, Anthony?
No, you have Kyle tomorrow. I am also going on vacation.
When Kyle is... Wait, so Kyle's doing a double shift?
I believe so.
Wow. Were you the one that was just in Europe, or is that somebody else?
I'm going to Europe.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the Azores. My family's from there.
Oh.
The where?
Azores.
It's like an island place
island
off
by
the coast
south-
of Portugal.
right
They
by
played in West Sac.
The Azores. Azores sounds like if the Athletics played in like prehistoric times, and they were like they're just like an athletics dinosaur. I'm an Azor.
Do you use electric or plain Azor? Razor.
Okay. Nope.
That was
No.
a
I
stretch.
no. But you know what? I found it.
Okay. It's early.
It is. This is why we have a stretch here where we just got. This is like calisthenics. We're working everything out. You know, sometimes you're gonna have some soreness.
Yeah.
You know. Good morning, everybody. 1-800-920-1140. If you want to call, 916-339-1140. If you want to text. Hello to everybody in YouTube. Look at Pedro. Look at Camp in there right at the start of the shizzo.
They're up early.
As the kids say. They are, they are up early. What is that? What's that all about, Jason? This whole getting up early thing.
I know I wouldn't be if we weren't working.
What do you think okay, first off, how long does it take you, or are you able to on vacation get to a normal wake up time?
100%.
Okay, and how long?
It's one of my superpowers. I would say, honestly, this past Saturday, I don't think I napped all week last week, so it was kind of a cumulative, like, I'm worn out. Went to the A's game Friday night, got home, and then finally, when I finally crashed, maybe it was might have been as late as like 12:30 or 1 or something. So that's late after you've had a long week.
Yeah.
I woke up at like 10:15, and it was great.
How did you do that?
Superpowers. No alarm, just.
That is superpowers.
Yeah. I don't automatically pop. I mean, sometimes I do, like 4:30 or 5, whatever on the weekend, but usually I go right back to bed and sleep till 7:30, 8. 10:15 was rare, but I loved it.
I mean, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Really?
But you can on vacation, huh?
No, I can't.
That's nice.
No, I can't.
Because I go right. I mean, I know we have more days of getting up early than not, but at the weekend I just don't have an alarm. So I just go till I go.
I'm trying to log it. Oh God, this computer is really upsetting me today. I'm trying to open the YouTube app. I'm trying to log into the chat so I can say hi to everybody and have whatever. Okay, here we go. And say this is 2-step authentication Google has.
There you go.
And
It broke through.
Yeah, broke through. It's not letting me do, just send the text to my phone. We also have a thing going on today where sound on the show is going to be a bit muted because I don't know if this is the right term or not, migrated our servers. I don't know. It just sounds right to me. But they migrated the servers, but neglected to let any of us know how to get into the servers so we can play, sounds, highlights. And then apparently our boss was saying everything was going to be fine, which always worries me when anyone here says it's going to be fine, because it most likely is not. So now when I try to go to, I don't know, play a highlight from game 2, big red X.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. I guess we could make it up. I'm also reading text from
pass over to SGA.
Yeah.
Shoots his cars.
You do play-by-play. Well.
No, he didn't.
According to the Basketball Network, Peja Stojakovic says Rich Paul blackmailed the Kings so De'Aaron Fox could end up with the Spurs. Peja thinks the Kings could have gotten a better package for Fox if they were able to shop him around, but says they couldn't do it.
Peja said that?
This is, I'm reading on Yahoo Sports, which the only reason I went there is because I'm trying to log in. It says he brought Fox to the Spurs and Zach LaVine, who's his player, to Sacramento. By doing this, he limited Sacramento from a business standpoint. Interesting. I don't know. I'll have to read. I'm just reading this right now. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. I don't know how caught up or into it you are. There's some stuff going. Hi. There's it says it's restoring network connections.
Okay.
Whatever that. We've got remote access. Our engineer is in here right now.
Oh, wow.
Look at that right there. Remote access.
He's doing things.
Look at that.
You're not touching anything.
He's doing stuff from home.
Wow.
I'm not doing this. This is strange. Oh, it's going to the right drive. And he's in the folder. I'm not going to read out loud what he's putting in there, but it's
some backslashes and some numbers.
Oh, yeah.
If he gets in there first try, he's going to be so mad at me because I tried that like 5 times.
Well, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, he's brought up the list of folders. Looks like he's not finding what he wants, so he's canceling out. And now we're just looking. He's trying to finish, Jason. The arrow's right over the finish button.
Yep.
And oh no, we've got to
wait. Now he's on my Facebook page.
How did he do that? Oh, he's sending out. He's sending out Candy Crush invites to all your friends. By the way, you should know that it said file not accessible, so their folder not accessible. So sounds like that's good news for you, Anthony. All right, we'll keep you posted, everybody, as to whether or not can our engineer access the folders we want remotely. Stay tuned.
So you're saying there's weird stuff going on?
There's weird stuff going on.
Oh, some of that stuff.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that I'm not. I would not touch with a 10-foot pole the 10-foot pole that you would need to touch in order to touch the stuff that's out. That's
20 feet of.
At least 20 feet. There are places I will not. Like when Mufasa and his kid were looking at the distance, they said, you don't ever go to that. That's the whatever.
Stay away.
Stay away.
Yeah.
I'm also not happy with some of our fan base too, by the way. Look, and again, I haven't touched this on social media because I don't want to give it light. But nobody's been harder on our ownership than me. I'm fine with criticism, but some of the things that are being said are gross. They're gross. They're actually disgusting. They're disgusting. And we're a better fan base than that. Like, criticize till the cows come home, whatever that means. Criticize all day long. I'm with you, baby. I'm with you. But let's just call it the racism, the personal stuff, come on, guys, we're better than that. And
just attacks.
Yeah, exactly. And oh, by the way, whatever you're trying to accomplish, I assure you, you're doing the opposite. You're actually doing the opposite. You want to criticize somebody, you've got logic behind it, criticize them. You start doing that, you're going to understandably engender some sympathy and a rally on the other. Like, stop.
I don't even know what the when you say whatever you're trying to, I don't even know what they're trying to accomplish.
I
Just to
don't
be
even.
hateful.
Yeah, it's just it's like, look, dude, it's basketball, and I know it's important to us, and it's like I freak out about it. I hear you. I'm not, well, it's just a game. I'm not that guy, but like some of the stuff that I'm seeing, especially over the last couple of days, tweeted towards the owner of the team is like legit. It's legit gross, and it's probably a bunch of like 18, 17-year-old. I don't know who the hell these people are, but some of the accounts I recognize is active Kings social media posters, if you will. So anyways,
be better.
Yeah, just be better. That's all. Just be better. You don't, that's you're not helping. You're not helping. It's not how you do it. Whatever you're trying, it's not what you do. Okay. And and honestly, it just makes the fan base look absolutely stupid. So knock it off, please. Which of course they won't, but how was your evening?
It was good.
Yeah.
What
was dinner?
What was dinner? We had some Chinese food the other day that was still left over. So second night of Chinese food.
Leftover Chinese food, maybe the best warm-up food.
Yeah, super easy.
It's certainly up there.
Some chow mein and beef. And
Mexican food's great to warm up.
Easy.
Chow mein, broccoli beef.
Yeah, easy, super easy, and yummy.
I had broccoli beef not that long ago in my Instant Pot. It's actually really good. It just takes a while. Yeah, not takes a while time-wise. It's just there's
the prep. Yeah. Instant Pot's great.
Oh my God, Instant Pot, truly, like that would actually be an interesting. If I had a food podcast, that would actually be kind of an interesting show. Would be like, what would your kitchen draft look like? Like, what would your Instant Pot would, assuming you have stove, cutlery, not all that. Okay. Although no, let me take knives out of there because I think possible number one pick would be a good set of sharp knives. Knives are so important, dude. But Instant Pot is such a multitasker, and I love multitaskers because I have a ton of crap.
Yeah. So
the more multitasky, the better. I think you need a good blender. I think you need either a good food processor or
I say microwave, but maybe some would be anti.
No, I would see. For me, I would put like microwave, stove, oven. Those are like you have those.
Okay.
Those are those.
Essentials.
That's it. Counter, sink, fridge. Those are the essentials. But then it's like, what do you use on a? Where's your can opener gonna be? Where's your cheese grater? Where's your potato? I don't know.
Spices.
Yeah. Spice is very important.
Or salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, garlic powder. I think if you just had that.
Yeah, those are the main.
I think you could survive without anything else. Now,
100%.
You want more, but I think those are basics.
You're 100% right. And also the understanding of like how to use the spices. Like I often see I think like garlic powder, for example. Like I see, I see people do this, and I used to until I learned from watching cooking shows. But like garlic powder is actually not only incredibly useful, but incredibly potent. But the thing is, a lot of times I'll see it almost used as like a seasoning, and it has to bloom. Like you have to give it time to bloom, and it's so concentrated that you take like a spoonful of garlic versus garlic powder, and the garlic powder is going to 9 times out of it's going to be more garlic-y.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. He's really deep in here. Talking about our engineer, by the way, on the computer. Our friend's kid had a birthday last night, so we went to over there. It was his 19th birthday, and he started. He just finished his freshman year at UC Santa Cruz.
Nice. Banana slug.
He is, which is hilarious because his mother, right? She is deathly afraid of 2 things: public speaking and slugs/snails. That's been the running. Like one time we were all on vacation, and the place we stayed at had a spa, and I found there was a snail next to the spot, right? So like I came up from behind her. It was early morning. Came from behind her. I just put the snail, not even right next to her. I put it like kind of. There's like a little shelf for your towels and stuff behind her, but like right in front of where her towel was, right? And then I said, I don't know what it was. It was so bad. I said something like, Shannon, is that your towel? And so she looked, and like there was the snail staring at her. Dude, I did not know a human could move that quickly. She flew out of it. It was so bad. And I was afraid she almost hurt herself getting out. Like, it was terror that I like waited a day to tell her it was me. Like, I didn't want to tell her in the moment when she was all fired up. Like, and then her son goes to it. Now she's wearing all his banana slugs gear. But also watching him and I've known him since he was a little chap. And now watching him, and he's got like, his hair's getting longer. It's kind of growing the face. He looks like a college kid.
That's what you do.
And I'm thinking, and I'm just looking at him at one point. I'm going, God. I mean, I don't think the facial hair or long hair is going to be a thing with Avery, but is that what's coming here? What is she going to look like a year from now? And what am I in for? Like, how many actuallys am I going to get over the next year? Because I feel like, in a sense, she's going to turn into like a little baby Christopher Laud, where everything is just like, well, Daddy. And I'll be like, shut up. How about that?
I'm trying to think if she came home at Christmas time with I don't know what would be a tattoo.
That just wouldn't happen. There is a zero.
Well, you don't take them off.
There is a 0% chance that would. But we'll run.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something
I
that's not like.
There is a 0.0, and that for those of you out there, they're like, you say no. Trust me, there is a 0.0% chance of that. But let's run with that.
I don't know. We're all at the dorm, and everybody's going out on this Friday night, and we're all getting USC forever tattoos.
You know what, dude? Have a blast at ARC for your second semester because you're coming home. No offense to ARC. Okay. It's just, closer to home.
Wouldn't it happen at UCLA?
No, it wouldn't. Hey, who got this? Anthony, did you get this number one on our leading off? Did you grab that?
Yeah, I got that.
Oh, boy. Good work. I was wondering because that's a big deal, but also that's tough. That's good. That's not the easy.
Some work.
It is a little. I always appreciate.
Well, I wonder what he has. That's the thing.
It's actually me pretending.
Yes. Yes.
I watched this. I did not have to go down there. Thank you. I watched about 90% of the city council meeting yesterday. It started at 2:00. I had it on my phone. Oh my God, dude. Like, anytime anyone starts joking about like, dude, are you ever going to run? You should run for mayor.
Yeah.
No. Not unless I have the ability. Not unless I would have the ability. You get like a minute to say what you need to say. And if you need like an extension, there needs to be like, we need to have like seasons of city council, like a football season. And like, you only get so much overtime to like, I'd like to gavel. I'd like to make a motion to, I need to grab an extra minute to make my point. Maybe it's super important. Same thing with the people talking. Oh, you know what? You have a right to be heard.
Yeah.
Whatever you can. If you can't say it in a minute, you can't say it.
You're in the back playing video games. You're like, hey, let me know when this is all wrapped up and we're going to the vote.
I can promise you that if I was the mayor, one of the first things that would happen, I don't even know if it's conflict of interest, but someone would reach out and want to sponsor the top of my hat. And of course I'd wear a hat to city council because I would be down on my phone like the whole
Royal Kingdom.
I can't do
match.
Yeah, well, no, I'm into the poker, Balatro now, but yeah, I haven't even opened a Royal match in like 3 weeks. Yeah, I know. It's just look, and I don't mean I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any of the council members or anything. It's just it's the game. It's how it is. But like, all right, we'll go to council member Carmichael Dave for his comments on the on the street corner that we're proposing to put a
fix it.
Yeah, right. But it's like, okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, it reminds me of, and you think this would be right down my alley because I can just tell. And I just want to thank 11,000 people. And then also I want to make sure, and let me bring you up. And I understand a lot of that's work you have to do. I get that. But so much of it is so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then
that's why I just watched the pregame and halftime.
Yeah.
You watched the game.
That would be so badass.
Watch the pregame.
Well, welcome everybody live from the City Council meeting. Carmichael Dave here with Jason Ross. And Jason, we've got ourselves a meeting tonight.
Oh, it'll be a dandy, Dave. Back to you.
You're gonna be the analyst on Major League.
Yeah.
just one word answers.
Yes, you are right.
Coming up today on the docket, we've got a street light that's out in Del Paso Heights. Over in Carmichael, no, I guess it wouldn't be Carmichael, would it? Over in Meadowview, they're looking to do some road work coming up, and Mac Worthy wants to talk about how there's too many dogs in grocery stores. It's a big night tonight.
Can't wait.
I mean, and I say it with love and respect for everybody on the city council. Like, good for you guys, dude. The attention span you have. You know what would happen with me, honestly? Because I can't stay in one place anyways. I can guarantee you at some point during city council. See, that's why I will never be taken seriously, but it's true. At some point during the meetings, I'm going to start getting itchy cheeks.
Yeah, you'll be up. You'll be moving.
100%. But I mean, legitimate. If I sit too long, I get itchy cheeks. And then so like I'll be sitting there. Nope. I'll be sitting there. Yep. I'll be sitting there and the camera's on everybody. And all of a sudden you'd see me like kind of slide on one side of my chair to the other. I'm just trying to itch, undercover a little bit. And then eventually it's like, I can't, I need to go to the vent. I would be the guy that leaves his mic on when he takes a leak. But I do it on purpose though. Yeah. Just for the LOLs. All right, we got a big show for you. Let's lead it off. Number one, please.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Hold on. Did you give me a choice on these? I've never seen this before. I have 4 cuts.
Well, you gave 2 for leading off 3.
I gave 2 for leading.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, Chris comes back Friday. Right?
Yeah.
Does he have to? We'll discuss it. All right.
Anthony could do the show remote from the Azores.
Yeah.
Any no's or abstentions? Hearing none. Passes unanimously. We're going to be redeveloping a core area of Sacramento Railyards and getting a new soccer stadium and a concert venue. So great news for more life to our urban core, but also great for our budget.
Hey, that's Mayor Kevin McCarty, and the city council passed unanimously. Unanimously. We'll talk about this at 6:44. What this means for Sacramento, what it means for the future of not just soccer, but other stuff going on. Downtown just continues to grow, and I gotta say this, and I know they're separate, but I just want to go back. Stuff like this that happened yesterday, it really just it reinforces my love, not just for the city, but especially the people, in the sense that look at where we were in 2012. The team was gone. They were going to Seattle. No offense to the River Cats or the Republic or anybody else, but this was going to be sports-wise effectively a ghost town. That Macy's and that whole downtown plaza was dilapidated. Downtown was just whatever. And whether you're a Kings fan or not, you go down to the Doco area now, it's vibrant. Things are happening. Things are popping. Even with COVID happening, that put an arrow in a lot of that. It's coming back. And I don't know, and I don't think that this happens without that in some aspects. That it's been a spark that has continued to, grow this city. And it's not just this, it's also, okay, well, what's next now? What's going to happen in 5 years? It's really cool to see the city grow.
Possibilities are endless, and with things like this, with the Doco happening, and it's there are visionaries out there that
Yes.
have even bigger and bolder thoughts just for years to come, which is exciting because I think every time you add something like this, it makes you believe that more can be added, which is awesome.
Then it can. Next up, Riverwalk, right?
Yeah.
Riverwalk.
Sure.
All right, number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Halliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 0.3 of a second to go. How many more times can this team do that?
Finally, game 3. I thought the series was over. They just decided, nah, screw it.
Yeah, where'd they go?
Yeah, we'll just split the trophy.
Okay.
Custody of it.
Sure.
Game 3 tonight, Oklahoma City at Indiana, the Thunder favored. We'll get into that quite a bit later. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about there, including a bunch of material I had set for this segment. There's nothing like being able to push forward subjects. God, I love it. So we'll get to all this amazing ideas and subject matters that I had written down here to engender passion and conversation. We're going to do that sometime later on in the program. We also are going to visit real quickly on the stadium stuff. The U.S. Open's coming up, the A's and Giants. A lot to get to. Coming up next, safe or out. Matt Chapman, ouchie, the Dodgers, and the Detroit Tigers, written by Jason Ross. Which, by the way, when I get up in the
Is
morning,
that a pleasant surprise?
I just
had a few ideas.
at 3:45 in the morning sent you an air hug. I just sent you. I was like, God, Jason, I love you. Yeah. I hope you got it.
Yeah.
It was nice and warm. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Safe you're out next.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure. My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-672-7070. That's 1-800-672-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-672-7070. That's 1-800-672-7070.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. You know summer is pretty much here, and Father's Day is right around the corner. One way to get dad fired up for Father's Day, trust me, I know, stop into Amy's Outdoor Living and see their ultimate lineup of barbecue grills. We're talking Weber gas grills, starting at just $3.99. Traeger Woodridge pellet grills starting at $7.99. That's a great price. RecTech begins at just $5.99. Plus, think about this. Amy's has free setup and delivery. The Gosney pizza ovens, I got one of those, starts at $3.99. Nothing like being out back with your family, making a homemade pizza. Find great gifts for dad like Yeti coolers and comfy hammocks. Amy will pay the sales tax on all in-stock furniture. Family owned and operated. Amy's Outdoor Living on El Camino near Watt, where I used to go as a kid with my dad, and also brand new in the El Dorado Hills Town Center. Tell me your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent ya.
The giant summer sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the giant summer sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Okie dokie, artichokes. Ooh, artichoke sounds good. Do you ever spend any time, have you ever spent any time in your life on produce pricing?
No.
Okay. So like, I mean, I know inflation and stuff, but like, what was I looking at the other day? It was like lettuce was on sale. It was like $1.25 for a head of like regular lettuce, right? And I know there's like deeper meaning and answers here, but I'm like thinking about like the farmers that grow it and all the stuff that like, how do you make money? Like the grocery store is taking some of it, the shipping and all the stuff that go, but like, what do you get? Like, what is the farmer gets like 50 cents a lettuce? How does it
get a lot of lettuce?
That's what I guess, but golly, like cow, I get cow, lots of money, lettuce, green bean, like what are we doing?
Yeah,
but I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad the prices are whatever. But but artichokes, Good luck getting an artichoke for less than like every once in a while it'll be like 2 for $5. But usually it's like $3-4 an artichoke. Family of 4, $12, 16 for artichokes. I like artichokes, but my goodness.
Not that good.
Not that. By the way, another great use for the Instant Pot.
Yeah.
Artichokes.
Oh, okay.
Really, really saves time on that. Ton of time. Safe or out? Question 1.
Matt Chapman went on the IL Tuesday. Safe or out? Will this be a big problem for an already struggling lineup?
It's not going to help. It's not going to help. Look, the Giants are officially the hottest team in baseball right now. They really are. They're on a 6-game winning streak with a tight victory over the Rockies yesterday. 2 against the Padres, swept the Braves, and 1 down, 2 to go versus the Rockies. That being said, Jason, they have scored 6, 4, 3, 5, 3, and 6 runs. By the way, that's a step up.
It is. And the 6, what did they get? 3 or 4 in the 9th yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, a lot of it was late runs. It was looking like, man, they may lose that game. So
they scored a total of 3 runs in the first 2 games with the Padres. Got 2 runs in a win over the Marlins. You know, the last time the Giants scored more than 6 runs in a game, 9-1 over the A's way back when.
Yeah. And I think, you know, there's some talk that for Chapman, you know, it was the hand or with wrist, I guess, but there's talk that it might be a while, not just the 10 days. So that's not good.
No. And when you're talking power, he's your team leader in home runs. He is 3rd in RBI, I think 4th in RBI with 30. You know, look, he's not a huge bat,
right?
But for the Giants
with a huge bat.
That's exactly right. So that being said, when one guy goes down, hopefully somebody else pops up and is able to make it happen, Captain. So somebody gets an opportunity. Let's hope they take advantage of it for the Giants' sake, or maybe this helps to motivate Florida State's Buster Posey to get his team to make a move out there.
Multiple bats, get them.
Well, hats for bats, keep bats warm. Number 2, please.
The Dodgers say Shohei Ohtani will return to the mound before the All-Star break. Safe or out? Ohtani on the mound is more exciting than Ohtani in the batter's box.
Ooh, that's a good question. So,
I think it's out.
You know what? Yeah. You know, I love the whole micro, macro, 50,000 feet ground level. Okay. I think from 50,000 feet at a macro level, a wide angle, I think it is more exciting. I just think the idea, because it's a two.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it's not even close.
I think you stop what you're doing when you know he's up.
That's exactly right.
Now, he's going to pitch, that's 60, 80, 100
exactly
pitches.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still phenomenal how good he is at both.
It really is. And to see him, I love the idea of him being able to, well, I don't love the idea as a Giants fan, but as a baseball fan, I love the idea of seeing talented people show off their talent, and hopefully he'll have this opportunity and stay healthy, because I do believe he is the greatest all-around player we've ever seen in baseball, and you can't have that title if you're not doing the pitching.
It's just incredible what he's able to do he's a really good pitcher. Obviously, he's as gifted as anybody that we have right now in baseball in hitting, but he's just not and he can pitch. No, can be an ace on any team.
I mean, he started the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's insane, and it's great for baseball to be able to see that. So, out for sure.
Yeah,
but
fun to see both.
Number 3, please.
The Detroit Tigers are 20 games over 500 for the first time since 2013. Safe or out? They are a legit threat to win the American League.
Yeah, safe. I wouldn't bet on them. I would bet it would be, the Yankees are the favorite. But I love the way the Tigers are put together, and they have arguably the best pitcher in baseball, in Tarek Skubal. It will be very, very interesting to see how this progresses, but they're just, I say quietly, and I want to say they're a small market. Detroit is not a small market, but I I really enjoy that team. I enjoy how they're put together, and I enjoy that they're just kind of doing their thing and winning ball games and winning series. And hey, good for them.
Yeah, at some point, it's going to go from being a nice story to, hey, everybody should be paying attention. Plus, I think the other thing that's forgotten a little bit about them being with the best record of 20 games above 500, that division. I mean, Cleveland's good. The Royals are good. Minnesota's above 500. Now, Chicago White Sox struggle, but it's one of the most competitive divisions in baseball, and they're at the top of it, and they're at the top of the American League. And so at some point, they need to be taken seriously. To do this, what they're doing now is very impressive.
It really is. It's impressive. It's not a fluke. It is a legit thing, and good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. They did it the right way. Their payroll isn't insanely high. Their minor leagues are. Their farm system has given them a lot to work with. And again, I am weirdly, I think as a Kings fan, I'm always weirdly drawn to teams like Detroit. And I said this yesterday. It's like, okay, Skubal's off the floor. Everybody out there right now listening, especially if you're a baseball fan, Derek Skubal's off the floor. Don't look it up. You got for $1 million, name 4 Tigers. Name 3. How many can you name? 2. Right. Name 1. Okay. I love that. It's just a bunch of anonymous dudes to the large majority, a bunch of anonymous dudes trying to drive towards a World Series title. That's what they do. Much like I think people can drive themselves to Woodland, just 5 minutes from the airport, and get themselves a brand new Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram right now. They've got amazing deals going on. Whether it's a Ram truck, in which they are the number 3 Ram truck dealer in the country, number 1 in the state of California, over 400 Ram trucks up. It's just ridiculous. I mean, everybody is, you know what a Ram truck looks like. And if you don't, you know what a big truck looks like. Now imagine how long it would take you to walk down 400 of them. And why do you care that the selection's so big? Because you don't have to order it online, sight unseen. You can go up there and have somebody, one of their friendly staff, that's not all, hey, you want to make a deal? Like, these are good people that are no pressure at all. Car sells itself. The deal sells itself. But they can walk you through, oh, you want the silver one, but you want this interior. Oh, you want the red one, but you want that. They're going to have every type of Ram truck up there. Same thing with the Jeeps, all their models. And the great thing about Hoblet that they do time and time again, you take your MSRP, whereas a lot of other dealerships are marking up on the best and brightest, best-selling models. Not Hoblet. They're marking it down. You can search, select, and save at hobletdodge.com. No hassle. Ever. Get up there and check out all those phenomenal deals from a family-owned car dealership. Also, their used car super center. So many vehicles under 20 grand. Get up there today. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. We'll take a break. When we come back, the stadium passed unanimously yesterday. What does that mean for the future of MLS, USL? What does it mean for Sacramento? We'll spend a little bit on that before we get on to a big groundbreaking coming up in Las Vegas, sort of. And 3 for Madness, all coming up right after this.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter, right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
It's taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino. With 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations that include SR Prime Steakhouse, 32 Brews, Dragon Boat, and The Market. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience the height of hospitality. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Is your AC on the fritz? Call Bell Brothers. Looking to replace your old unit with a 0% financing and no payments for 12 months on approved credit? Call Bell Brothers. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. The price we quote is the price you pay. We are the No Surprise Guys. Call today to get a free estimate on a new HVAC system, or simply schedule your $87 AC Precision tune-up to keep your system running smoothly. With more technicians, more trucks, and more experience, we get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today or book online at nosurpriseguys.com. That's nosurpriseguys.com.
We get it. Tariffs are tough. Power tools are getting expensive. But at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, we're solving that problem for 2 short days on June 20th and June 21st. We're putting all Milwaukee power tools on massive discounts. Tons of Milwaukee batteries and bare tools for less than $100. 25% off all regular price Milwaukee pack-out boxes and much, much more. So stop by Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento on June 20th and 21st for some of the lowest prices on tools you'll ever see this year. To see all of what's on sale, visit FastenersInc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
He knows our abstentions. Hearing none. Passes unanimously. We're going to be redeveloping a core area of Sacramento, our Railyards. They're getting a new soccer stadium and a concert venue. So great news for more life to our urban core, but also great for our budget.
Stadium passes unanimously. I love that it was unanimous. That's a good message. And now the hard work starts. I'm hoping to gather a second Sac Republic hard hat that they had the original groundbreaking back when MLS was happening before Burkle dropped out. And now the hard work starts, Jason. They're, as Kevin Nagel said yesterday on this show, they're going to break ground later, this summer, which, next month after, pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then they're hoping to have the first soccer ball kicked there officially in less than 2 years, April of, what do you say, April 27?
That's crazy. That's fast.
It really, really is. And it's not just soccer. It's everything surrounding that, other events. It's an outdoor stadium. We don't have, we have Rayleigh Field, but this is now a multi-purpose community asset stadium that there's, whether it's a soccer game, whether it's rugby, whether it's exhibition soccer, whether it's lacrosse, whether it's a barbecue festival. There's so many different, I'm just naming 4 of 400 you can use and that will be used. I'd love to see our Country in the Park go over there someday.
Oh,
That'd be a blast. Mm-hmm. But whatever it's used for, it's going to be that stretch of land right when you drive into Sacramento is now going to have something really pretty on it. And the future is bright. And then it begs the question, what does this mean for the future of the Republic? Are they just going to kind of choo-choo along the USL aspect, or Is MLS still on the table? And I think both are, Jason. I think the future is very bright for them.
Well, I think the good thing too, and we've talked about this a lot in the last, I don't know, a couple of years. MLS is actually pretty great, you know. And the USL. And like you've got two good choices. There's been some things that have hurt MLS. There's some things in the USL that have been great for the Republic where they currently are. And so I just think that's a good spot to be in regardless for them. If you get the new stadium and that helps you, great. If that's an area they want to go, but they've been so successul where they've been. So
I agree. They really have.
To me, it's a little bit like, I don't know if it's quite the same, but you know, I've working with Sac State and watching their football program grow and get better at the FCS level, and there's desires to go FBS. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
But it's also nice to be in the division they're in and do well. Like, so to me, where the Republic end up, I'm happy either way, honestly.
I think that's exactly how the fans feel. It would be neat to do X, Y, and Z, but at the same time, they're having a blast, and this is going to be a big boost for them. And you know, when it comes to the future, and this is where, go ahead and get ready, Russell, to yell at me here because he always pipes up on the chat. I think it's a very interesting. It's going to be a real interesting next 4 or 5 years for soccer in America. You've got the Club World Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup coming here this summer.
Right.
Next summer, you got the World Cup coming here. And the men's team just got thrashed by, was it Sweden or Switzerland yesterday? But those that remember back in the 90s, when the last time the World Cup was here, no matter what happens, it will boost, it will boost soccer here locally. By locally, I mean domestically. So I think what's really shaping up, and I've said this before, I think USL is really doing some very smart things. And it's funny because the guy that kind of shepherded this before he left as USL commissioner is now the CEO of Huddersfield Town, Jake Edwards, who I've gotten to know really, really well working with him, and to talk about where the future lies for USL. So right now, USL and MLS are set up as competing, separate leagues.
Right.
But what USL has been working on and making progress with the governing bodies is getting their certifications to be, considered a top level of soccer, at least here locally. And they're creating their divisions now. They really already have with the USL Championship, and they're kind of following the English model. They're going to start, hopefully here soon enough, promotion and relegation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not familiar with promotion and relegation, I know most of you understand the concept, but I'll just use NBA terms. The bottom 3 teams in the NBA last year would be playing in the G League next year. And the top 3 G League teams, including the Stockton Kings, would now be full-fledged NBA teams. And every year, the bottom 3 in each league go down, and the top 3 in each league go up. It's exactly, if anyone's ever looking for a cure for tanking, that's it. And going through now on the English side, a couple years where the season is winding down and there's no playoffs to win the league over there. That doesn't exist. You finish with the most points at the end of the year, you've won the title. But where they have playoffs is the top 2, for example, in the second tier of English football, they get automatic promotion. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now those 4 teams, they have a playoff. And the winner of that playoff between those 4 teams becomes the 3rd team to go. So that is intense. That is absolutely intense. On the other side, you've got these, usually there's 2, 3, 4 teams battling to get out of the last relegation spot. So towards the end of the year, it is very common to see these teams at the bottom of the standings, or table as they call it, just going crazy, trying to win. There is no tanking. There's no such thing. So what I think is going to be very interesting if USL is able to pull this off is to introduce the concept of promotion and relegation to the American viewer who has no concept of it really in any of our sports. And I don't think inherently nationally there's a ton of, like I'm an NBA guy. I don't think there's a ton of loyalty to MLS. I'm not talking about Sounders fans. I'm not talking about Rapids fans. I'm talking about the average soccer fan in America is still, I think, very gettable, very malleable, very moldable. And I don't think MLS it's nowhere near the name brand of the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. So what I think would be very interesting, especially with MLS now, I think in the third year of their 10-year, $1 billion deal with Apple, which I think was a terrible deal for them. They're also coming to the end of their expansion, which has really fueled a lot of the profits for the owners. I think it would be very, very interesting to see if promotion relegation catches on, combined with the World Cup coming here. I'm talking 2, 3, 4 years down the road. I think the USL can very much compete with MLS. If I had to guess, I think at some point, and it makes sense when you look at the history of sports in America, it's going to be an NFL AFL. It's going to be an NBA ABA. You're going to see some sort of, at some point, MLS is going to be cornered because they don't have promotion relegation. I think that's going to be a big enough silver bullet for USL to attract not only a lot of attention, but also they haven't cornered themselves yet with a weird TV deal. In the end, Republic may end up being MLS, not through expansion, but through a merge.
Right.
And you then would take X amount of teams from USL, merge them into MLS. And then now you take that setup of these established franchises. Now all of a sudden that becomes your promotion relegation situation. But you're going to have to get the MLS owners like Robert Kraft and friends to pass something that would potentially allow the New England team to be in League Two here.
Right. It's a little bit of a mindset shift of the American owners. But, the fact that when they have the stadium, it gets you prepared for all of that anyway. So
yes. It's going to be exciting.
Be ready.
It's going to be a very exciting few years for that to see what happens. And Sacramento's well positioned. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Who needs the win tonight? More and the greatest player in Thunder history. Might not be who you think it is. We'll talk about it next.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with ONE+. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
That's right. We got 3 for Madness coming your way here in just a moment. So to come more news baseball-wise as far as the A's. They've got a big groundbreaking coming up in a couple of weeks in Las Vegas. At least that's the reports. We will be discussing that. Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. That much more detail coming up at 8 o'clock. And, of course, who's hot, who's not. We got streaking, what to watch, all that kind of stuff. Crosstalk with Alan Stiles. A big, big show coming your way throughout the rest of the day. First hour was a good one. We covered a lot of different things there, including the latest news that we just talked about as far as the new stadium being passed unanimously yesterday. So the Sacramento Republic should be getting set to break ground on the new stadium downtown, barring any setbacks. But as Kevin Nagel told us yesterday, if everything goes right, we could be talking about April of 2027. That time will fly by, and you just think about how differently downtown has become over the years. It's truly amazing. So that was good news yesterday. And again, if all goes well, April of 2027.
Which would be fantastic. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to a friend over there with the Republic, and it's kind of cool that we were having a conversation like day after. Mm-hmm. How you feeling? And they're all like, because a lot of these guys have been working on this deal for 12 years.
Sure.
Some 5, some 10, but there's people there that have been working on this thing for over a decade. And the attitude over there, you'd think it would be like, they celebrated last night. It was a great win. But then today it's like, all right, let's go to work.
Right.
Hard part starts now. And I love that. I love that can-do attitude.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, my dad texted me during the break. Wanted to mention this. Did you see the catch by the ace center fielder yesterday? Most incredible catch I've seen in a long, long time. I did see it, Dad.
Yeah.
Denzel Clark with an E at the end a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. 3 for Madness question 1, please.
Who needs tonight's win more, the Pacers or the Thunder?
I mean, the obvious answer is they both need to win. But I think there's no question the Pacers have to win this game. I can see a scenario. Well, look, I can see a scenario whichever team, of course, until one team wins 4 games, blah, 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 blah. But we're talking odds and realities and likelihoods. If the Thunder win this, they've got home court back. Now, all of a sudden, it's like we talked about on Monday. I think had the Pacers won game 2 and lost game 1, there'd be a lot of, did the Pacers figure out the Thunder? Now it's, did the Thunder figure out the Pacers? Plus, by the way, they led the entire game, but 0.3. That being said, it doesn't matter if they led for 0.3 or 3 point. They won. That's what matters. I think if the Thunder go in now and they win tonight, they get home court back, the narrative will be probably correctly, they found the key here. And then we're going to be talking about, are we back in 2000? Are we back in 2001?
Mm-hmm.
And is it going to be 4 straight after the Sixers won game 1 over the Lakers?
Yeah, I know it's about who wins at the end, but I think the fact that the Pacers have trailed the majority of the 2 games kind of falls in line with what most people believe as far as the Thunder being favorite, the Thunder being a historically great team. What they've done has been amazing. Now, the Pacers are also equally hot, but they haven't done the same type of things. Their historical nature has been, it's not fluky. That's unfair to say.
That's right.
But it's been heroic how they've had all these comebacks and how they've been able to win these games. They deserve a ton of credit for that. But they've had to come from behind a lot. And I think that they did it once against OKC, which was truly amazing. And if they could continue to do that, more power to them. But I just don't see a lot of scenarios where they dominate this game or dominate the series. And so they're going to have to stay close, find ways to win at the end. That's a really tough recipe when you trail the majority of the game. So I think there's no doubt the Pacers need the game more.
It's actually interesting when you look, Jason, at the possible results. Like, I know what we're going to say tomorrow. If the Thunder win, that's what we think is going to happen. By the way, they are still, as of right now, favored by 5.5.
Okay.
I also kind of know what we're going to say. It'll be a little bit different, obviously, but if the Pacers are able to pull a game 1 and somehow eke out a victory, what I'm not prepared for, but is certainly on the table. God, what if the Pacers blow them out tonight?
Yeah, then it feels like, okay, what has happened now?
Now it's all up. And by the way, the Pacers have pulled, not only have the Pacers pulled a couple blowouts this play, the Thunder have shown, even in their win over Memphis when Ja Morant got hurt, the Thunder have shown this ability, for lack of a better term, where they can get blown out.
Yeah.
They got blown out in their last series by Minnesota. It can happen. I think it's the least likely scenario tonight, but it'll be very, very interesting tonight. 5:30 on ABC. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Are you okay with the extra day off for each team?
No and yes. Like, I hate it. I hate the extra day off. Like, come on, man. It feels like the rhythm is off. It feels like it's just we go from having multiple playoff games every day at the start of the playoffs, which is awesome. And then as the teams dwindle, the games dwindle. But still, even in the conference finals, you're pretty much getting a game every other day. And now you gotta wait 2 days in between. Like, they haven't played all week. Come on, man. A full Monday, a full Tuesday. Now it's tonight. But I'm okay. It has to be this way. They've played an entire season. These guys on both sides have played draining games in the playoffs. You never want to see somebody win or lose a series because of injury. And I think for the betterment of the players, although there are downsides to the pause, I think the upsides and more importantly, the protection of the players is important. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think what they've done, I can't remember when they switched this, but kind of when they changed it from the 2-3-2
yeah,
to the 2-2
yeah.
1-1. They wanted to give an extra day of travel,
right,
when you're changing venues.
Sure.
Also, I think it's done for television. I know Game 7, if there is a 7, is always going to be on a Sunday.
Yeah,
peak watching. What that also does is they play Wednesday tonight, they play Friday, then they're changing venues. They're not playing this weekend. And it's weird to have a weekend Father's Day as well, like to not have basketball.
I hate that.
So they're going to play Friday, Monday. And that just didn't seem like the right TV idea to me.
No.
But it is to keep that extra day of rest. Probably more so for the media and their travel because
Sure.
they don't travel like the team does. But yeah, I mean, it's the same for each team. So
it's so funny because from a viewer standpoint, you're 100% right about the TV. From a network standpoint, they don't value weekends. They never have.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't see generally, with the exception of your pay channels, you usually don't see, like when you look at your ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, they're throughout history, their franchise shows, they're never on a Saturday or Sunday because they that's when everybody's gone doing things. I feel this is one of those weekends, Father's Day, as you said, on Sunday. I honestly feel a little bad for people that aren't into golf, because for me, I am over the moon about the US. I am so ready for tomorrow. I'm so looking forward to the meltdowns, and then Sunday culminating Father's Day, barbecue, US Open final round.
Could you imagine that US Open going into the finals? Like that'd have been a great Sunday.
God, that would have been fantastic. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Is SGA the best Thunder player ever?
I think if he wins the finals, he is.
Really?
I do.
Already?
And I was looking at this.
Okay.
I was looking at this. And okay, do we now Thunder? This is important. Not best player to ever play for the Thunder. This is the best Thunder player, and what I mean by that.
Explain.
Okay, so
same thing.
So I'm imagining if I say who's the best Thunder player ever, I'm imagining first name's Kevin Durant.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so we can agree on that. Apologies to Westbrook and Harden, and Chris Paul and Serge Ibaka
and Sabonis.
Durant has had the better career than SGA. I don't think that's in question. I'm talking about while they're with the Thunder, what they did with the Thunder, what they accomplished with the Thunder, what their numbers were with the Thunder. Okay. Obviously, if SGA wins a title with the Thunder, he will have done something that Kevin Durant never did with the Thunder, is that. And if the Oklahoma City Thunder win the championship, it is virtually impossible, unless there is an injury, that he would not be your finals MVP. If they win it, if they win it, he's going to be your finals MVP. So what I looked at, which is why I think it's a conversation, and he
also could, by the way, be like LeBron, where, I don't know, let's say the Pacers win this in 6, and they kind of win it the way they've been winning it, where you go, I don't know who's the best player in this series for the Pacers. Like SG.
I see what you're
like
saying.
LeBron almost won that one where Iguodala got him by a vote.
Yes.
And LeBron almost got it as a losing player.
That has not happened yet, correct? I
feel like maybe something with Jerry West.
Okay. I think you might be right,
but I feel like that might have.
That does sound familiar. It does, specifically Jerry West. Yeah. So what I did, Jason, is I took Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's year this year, and I'm comparing it to Kevin Durant's year when the Thunder made the finals.
Okay.
I feel like that's the best comparison I can come up with.
Was that KD's MVP year, though?
I
don't know that it was. But anyway, that's fine.
No, I think that's actually very fair. I was just trying to come up with an apples to apples thing. Let me find his. I don't think that was his MVP year. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think that was too early in his career.
Yeah, it was 2014. You know what? Well, yeah. You know what? Let's do that, Jason. Let me go to. That's only fair. Let's go to Kevin Durant's MVP year. Well, funny enough, his finals year, He was 24 years old, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 26. His MVP year, they're both 26.
There you go.
SGA in his 7th season, Durant in his 8th season. So
perfect.
We're getting results. Okay. This is SGA's year this year. And this was Kevin Durant. Hold on, David. Kevin Durant won the MVP in 2014. I thought I brought that up, and I didn't. So everybody bear with me here. Maybe it's 2013, 14, because it's not that he didn't win the MVP in the year I brought up. Okay. So actually 1 year younger now than SGA is when he won the MVP. There we go. Okay. All right.
I think they both won the scoring title, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to do the player A, player B?
Without knowing who's who?
Without knowing who's
Okay.
who. Okay. All right. Let me mix these up here. Okay. Player A, 32.7 points a game. Player B, 32 even. Player A, 5 boards a game. Player B, 7.4. Player A, 6.4 assists. Player B, 5.5. Player A, 1.7 steals. Player B, 1.3. I mean, this is negligible, but player A, 1 block a game. Player B, 0.7. Player A, 52% from the field. Player B, 50.3. Player A, 37.5% from 3. Player B, 39. Almost done here. Player A, 90% free throw. Player B, 87.3. And then just for some nerdy stuff here, player A, box plus minus, BPM, 11.5 to 10.2. Value over replacement player, VORP, 8.9 for player A, 9.6 for player B.
Well, I mean, those are about as close as you get.
They really,
I think
really
I know who's
are.
who, but
they really are. They're so close, dude. It's a coin flip.
Yeah,
it really
I
is.
could, and I think I know who's who, but I just don't know how you pick the difference. They're basically the same. There's subtleties in there, but
I was very surprised. Player A, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who averaged 0.7 of a point more than Durant
this year.
32-7 to 32. Durant's always going to rebound more than him. He's a 7-footer. He's got 2.5 more boards, whereas SGA had 1 more assist, half a steal.
The block surprised me.
That really surprised. That might have been the most, even though it was 1 to 0.7. Still, I thought that would be heavy for Durant. The other thing that surprised me, honestly, is the splits. Other than 3-point percentage, 39 to 37.5 for Durant, SGA has him on field goal, free throw. He's got him on the splits all the way down, and then value over replacement, 9.6 to 8.9 is actually a little bit of more of a difference than I thought, especially with SGA having him box plus minus by almost 1.5. So what it comes down to me is I think they're effectively the same player with different attributes, but the same player. And if SGA wins the title, he's the best Thunder player of all time.
How many years did Durant play there?
Kevin Durant played for the Thunder. Are we counting the Sonics?
Well, that was 1 year, right?
1 year. So if you don't count the Sonics, in which he was 19, he played for the Thunder for 8 years.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, 8, 9 if you count that Sonics year.
Okay, and SGA is on year 7?
I believe, yeah, you're correct. He's on year 7. Let me just verify that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's in his 6th year. Rookie year he played for the Clippers.
Oh, that's right.
So he's in his 6th. And
well, instinctually, I want to say, it's Durant.
That's what I said. That's 100%. I asked that. I actually saw somebody ask this question,
and maybe even with a cushion, like, SGA's great, but like it's Durant easily,
100%.
And then
I got into the numbers and went, oh, wait a minute, hold on. if they're effectively the same player, like you said, it's a coin flip from their MVP years. It's not that much of a difference all the way around in their other years. But then you add in that SGA gets them. He's got their first title. He's the NBA Finals MVP. I think recency bias aside, I think if you ask, especially Thunder fans, which is insane to me. It's insane to me. It is insane to me that we can even have this conversation and make a case for that. By the way, not for nothing, Kevin Durant, his MVP year with the Thunder, averaged 9.9 free throws per game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averaged 8.8.
Foul merchant.
Free throw merchant, KD.
Yeah, it's that's an interesting debate because I didn't think it was one, but it certainly is one now, becoming one. And then if SGA stays there for much longer, maybe that's going to get lopsided, which is surprising to even say.
And that it's really become one of the most fascinating things to me about this playoff run when you talk about sub conversations and storylines is the culmination of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as a face of the NBA and as one of this year, the best player in the NBA. And how the older you get, the generations that you see come in, you see this resistance to crowning these people. And I think that's couched in part by, yeah, he's cute and all, but he ain't this guy that I'm used to. You saw these things going all the way back. We talked about it yesterday. Michael Jordan Jordan was the guy with the chain around his neck that played with the tongue out that just scored but couldn't win the big one.
Yeah.
There was a time, I'm sure, when Bird and Magic had the same thing, all the way up to Tim Duncan to Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Well, when I can remember this back when I don't think I was doing radio yet, but you're kind of doing your own, debates and talk shows and whatever with your friends. And I was one of the last ones to get there eventually, but it was like, no, Magic's better than Jordan. Magic's better than Jordan. Look at the rings. And then, yeah, Jordan got one, but I mean, Magic. Then you're like, yeah, it's not him anymore. At some point there is a transition. And, without even kind of thinking much about it, I would have thought that's not even really that close of a debate.
I thought
between
the same
SGA
thing.
and Durant.
I thought the exact same thing.
Is.
Exact same thing, Jason. That's why I brought it up, because I went in and went, hold on a second. This is a I honestly was like, this is a dumb debate. Who is having this? Who is having this debate? And then you go in and you look at it and you go, oh, well, yeah, it's probably SGA if he wins. Yeah. Also, somebody asked this online. I am kind of curious too what you think. Trying to think in that finals year against it would have been 2012, 2013, I think, right? When they made the finals.
Somewhere around there when they lost to the Heat.
Yeah, because I think they were in the Western Conference Finals the following year. Well,
I know they were in the finals in a Game 7 to the Warriors one of the years. Where Durant, I think they had the 3-1 lead, where Clay had Game 6, and they couldn't hold that.
If I were to say to you who had the better roster around them for their finals team, Durant or SGA, that's almost an unanswerable question right now, because on the surface, I'm like, hold on a second. Durant had...
Right now, I would say Durant's.
Yeah.
Today, because...
Durant had 2 future MVPs.
Yeah, Hall of Famers. And
Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I don't know right now about OKC.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I need to know where Jalen Williams is going to be in 5 years with his play. I need to know what Chet Holmgren... By the way, it is not out... It is not out of the realm of possibility in any way, shape, or form that the Oklahoma City Thunder are currently playing with 3 Hall of Famers on their team.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
SGA is definitely on track to be one. I don't know what Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams are going to be in 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's not, are we going to sit here and say no?
But it's also kind of when you, like, to say he was playing, Harden was really good. I'm not trying to minimize
but he was
Harden,
a bench guy.
But he became better as he moved on and became the MVP and the Hall of Famer guy when, his time through Houston and another time in other spots. But
I think one thing that's also important to remember that always gets forgotten in those Thunder teams, because Durant, Westbrook, Harden, all MVPs, all first ballot Hall of Famers. Dude, Serge Ibaka was a hell of a player. He was a hell of a player.
I'm going to say Nick Collison.
I mean, Nick Collison was the Sonic / Thunder. Serge Ibaka in his second year in the league finished 14th in the Defensive Player of the Year voting. That went up to 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. He had 3 straight years where he was all defense first team. In their finals year, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 2.7 blocks a game, shot 80% from the line, 53% from the field. He was their defensive anchor. I'm not saying Serge was on the level of a Durant, Westbrook, or Harden, but I'll tell you this much. There's a really good argument that he had more of an effect on that team at that time than James Harden did coming off the bench.
Right.
He was their defense, and he was a badass. And he always gets kind of like, Serge was there too. No, dude. Serge was a big part of that team. We'll take a break. When we come back, the A's are going to have a groundbreaking in Vegas in a couple of weeks. Okay. Also, I guess we can kind of lightly address Alan. Alan does this a little more than we do, but you're hearing some Kings trade rumors, and let's see where those are going, specifically with Trae Young. We'll do that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Temperatures will be starting out in the low 50s this morning. Otherwise, looking at lots of sunshine, afternoon breezes, and highs in the upper 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples. That was easy. In-store, online, and on the app.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off. Select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Primer and Ceiling Paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley.
with special guest Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, so let's break this down. It's a great article I was reading this morning from Corey Levitan. And anytime I hear that, when I say Corey Levitan, does that mess with anything in your head?
I have nothing.
This is such a stupid Dave thing. Do you remember Dan the Man Levitan, who led into Adrian Cronauer in Good Morning Vietnam?
Oh, okay. It's like, no, but yeah.
It's the only time I've ever heard that name. Dan the Man Levitan. Anyways, no relation.
Oh,
probably.
Do we know?
No, we don't actually. June 23rd, in about 12 days. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, my brother, today. He's super old.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, June 11th. 2 months from my birthday.
Yeah.
Shovels will dig into the site of the imploded Tropicana Casino Hotel at 8 a.m. on June 23rd. It's a formality for photo ops because the foundation work
have to do it.
Happened back in April. Yeah, you got to do it. But, and by the way, I want to underline where this article's from. It's not from some Bay Area publication that is definitely slanted anti-Fisher. It's not a one of the Vegas activists again. This is from casino.org. Yeah. The question remains whether the $1.75 billion ballpark will be built at all, because a large majority of the financing is not in place. This is a John Fisher special if there ever was one. Here are the numbers. Only $350 million in bonds issued by Clark County and the state, and a $300 million construction loan from U.S. Bank and Goldman Sachs have been secured. That leaves $1.1 billion unaccounted for, and the A's have to come up with that themselves. But the $1.1 billion figure is from numbers from a year ago. And the estimates now is that it's somewhere around 1.35 to 1.5 based on all kinds of things, including rising costs of steel and aluminum. And John Fisher hired Galatioto. That sounds like an Ewok's name. Galatioto Sports Partners to find minority investors in the team. And as we spoke about at length on this show, it's been 2 years. Not one has bid, probably because John Fisher is valuing the A's at $2 billion, which A, no one's listing them at $2 billion. B, that's for majority ownership. Again, We've talked about this before. If I wanted to buy the Kings, I could buy into the Kings probably for a valuation of $3 billion as a minority owner. You have no power. You don't get anything. You invest your money and
part of the group.
You're part of the group, and then maybe you're hoping someday you sell it and you get money back. Yeah. But if I wanted to buy Vivek Ranadive's shares and have controlling interest of the Kings, that's probably a $5 billion valuation. They're different prices. Fisher, because last I saw, I think the A's are valued at like 1.6, which to be fair is probably I would say a $2 billion valuation for the A's is probably gettable if Fisher wanted to sell. But asking for that at what Fisher's saying basically to everybody is, and by the way, he might be right. Look at what the Raiders did. Look at what the Golden Knights did. Look at every team that's been here. Look at their valuation. Look at what the Raiders' valuation went from Oakland to here. Yes, you're overpaying right now, but once we get here, the valuations. And by the way, he might be. I don't have a base disagreement with that thought. But
the Warriors from Oakland to San Francisco.
Absolutely. Just shoot right up. Now, a lot of other things factor in there, like, well, okay, but the Raiders are the NFL, and the Warriors won like 4 championships, and the value of the land. Anyways, if no major investors are found, Fisher has said he and his family will foot the bill. So the entire project is hanging on the wait for it, the word of John Fisher. Here's the problem. The bulk of John Fisher's wealth, as we talked about last week, is in Gap stock. The Gap, the parent company of Old Navy and a bunch of other brands. And that stock has been tanking. Fisher's stock is now estimated to be worth around $697 million. So even if he wanted to, he didn't have that. Now he could leverage himself. This is a common misconception. You see that like XYZ billionaire is worth, let's take Vivek. I don't know what he's worth, but let's say $4 billion. Whatever. Well, why isn't he going into luxury tax? Well, he's got the money. Like, why is he? It's not how it works. First off, these guys aren't carrying around this money in their checking account. It's all in places where the money is making money.
When you add it all up, that's where they get there.
That's exactly right. You would have to crash this, crash that. And by the way, they didn't get to be billionaires by operating businesses. Now, granted, generally sports teams operate either in or close to the red. They make their money off the equity and the fact that they have cash, they're rich, but they generally don't run their businesses in the red and come out of pocket a ton. That the business, especially in Fisher's case, whether it's with the A's or whether it's with the earthquakes, the directive is, hey, look, there is no not break even. You got to do better than that. So he didn't have the money. On top of that, you're going to need about 33 months of construction, which is almost 3 years. They want to be ready in 2028. That's right now.
Yeah.
Last month, the team agreed to submit a security bond of $3.7 million as part of a performance agreement with Clark County, which covers potential decommissioning costs such as materials and removal and structure stabilization if the project were to go belly up. Look, I've learned not to doubt billionaires. They have ways of doing things. I don't want to be naive. But this thing just doesn't pencil out, Jason. It continually does not pencil out. And it's not, and again, baseball's not the NFL. It's not like these franchise values are going through the roof and guaranteed to. I don't know, man. I think it's a coin flip right now. And the real question is, if it does go belly up and the Vegas deal falls through,
then what?
What the hell?
Right. Then what?
Ain't here.
Right. We know that, there's kind of a asterisk if the 4th year is needed, right? Which based on your timeline feels like year 4 would happen. We know year 1 has been rocky here to some extent. I mean, there's been fans out there, but some days where it's a little bit lean. It's just not all the best setup for them here. They've done the best that they could at the moment, but if it still feels like there should be more of an investment, even if it's a 3 to 4 year time frame here. I know there's some camps that say, well, look, if they here, there's a chance to stay. I mean, now you're talking a whole nother new stadium. You'd have to do a brand new stadium.
I would just walk everybody through it again. This isn't me being Debbie Downer. Just answer the following questions. You just had the Railyards stadium pass yesterday. Sac State's building a stadium. We think, we hope. You're going to find support for 3. And by the way, the A stadium would be the biggest.
Yeah, most expensive. Okay.
Where are you building it?
Right.
Where are you finding the money? Who's paying for it? Who's paying to buy the team, assumedly? And then coming up with, so let's see.
I mean, honestly, if there was the funds, if there was a corporation or corporations or a partner somehow, wouldn't it have to be somewhere near where it is now?
Somewhere near Rayleigh Field or Sutter. I would think it would be West Sac.
Because there's a little bit of infrastructure now. You might need more, but there's a lot of land there.
There isn't.
Partly. I mean,
you got to find the money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the big.
So there's $2 billion to buy the team. cheaper to build in Nevada than here. So let's just call it by then, somewhere in the range. I might be going a little over, but
it's back to Howard Terminal.
That's the thing. And by the way, here's the one that people need to really understand. If you think John Fisher is going to give Vivek Ranadive or whoever were to step in here a hometown discount, you think baseball is going to go for that after they waive the relocation fee?
No, if Fisher's this far in, if he gets to the point where he's like, this isn't going to work, he's going to try to make as much as he
That's exactly
can.
right. And now it's open to all bidders, and you ain't outbidding Joe Lacob in the Bay Area. You're not outbidding these Salt Lake City groups they're flush with cash. Salt Lake City is ready to pounce. You're also going to have Lacob and some other Bay Area people step up as well. I don't see where Sacramento comes in, A, with the money, B, with the city support, C, it would be West Sacramento, it would be Yolo County, not Sacramento County, and they could probably partner on something, but I don't think the appetite exists for 3 stadiums to be built in effectively 5-6 years. 3 outdoor stadiums. Nah. It ain't happening, guys. So we shall see. Will be continued. We'll get to the Trae Young stuff a little bit later. In fact, we might do it in the next segment. We go around the sports world. The Knicks are out searching for coaches and getting Mutombo'd, R.I.P. A surprise from Aaron Rodgers yesterday at his media availability. And Jim Harbaugh and his health. He gave us an update on that as well. We'll do that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the latest class of the A's Hall of Fame will be inducted before the A's play the Reds on September 13th. And what a group, including longtime A's broadcaster Monty Moore and the Big Three, Hudson, Mulder, and Zito. And when those guys pitch together in the A's rotation over a 5-year span, their combined records 234 and 119.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. You know summer is pretty much here, and Father's Day is right around the corner. One way to get dad fired up for Father's Day, trust me, I know, stop into Amy's Outdoor Living and see their ultimate lineup of barbecue grills. We're talking Weber gas grills, starting at just $3.99. Traeger Woodridge pellet grills starting at $7.99. That's a great price. Rectech begins at just $5.99. Plus, think about this. Amy's has free setup and delivery. The Gosney pizza ovens, I got one of those, starts at $3.99. Nothing like being out back with your family, making a homemade pizza. Find great gifts for dad like Yeti coolers and comfy hammocks. Amy will pay the sales tax on all in-stock furniture. Family-owned and operated, Amy's Outdoor Living on El Camino near Watt, where I used to go as a kid with my dad, and also brand new in the El Dorado Hills Town Center. Tell me your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent ya.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
We can get into this a little bit more tomorrow because we're getting backed up here. Never want to get backed up, Jason.
No.
The Athletic does their poll with the NBA. They ask 100 players, different questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they've now released this for baseball. For example, which manager aside from your own would you most like to play for? 121 respondents. Weirdly enough, or not, nobody said Mark Kotsay, and Bob Melvin got 2 votes. Bruce Bochy, for example, got 20. He and Terry Francona and Stephen Vogt were the leaders there.
Okay.
On who would you not want to play for? Melvin got 0 votes. Mark Kotsay got 2. Most people didn't want to respond here. For example, Bud Black, who's since been dismissed, led with 5. But where it gets really interesting, which organizations have good and bad reputations amongst players? By more than double, the Los Angeles Dodgers, with 82 good we would want to play, 0 bad responses. The Yankees were second with 40. And only 3 said they wouldn't want to play with the Yankees. That's probably the facial hair thing. Always is.
They've lightened up on that.
They have. Mm-hmm. Not surprisingly, at the very bottom of the list, not one respondent mentioned the A's.
Right.
39 said they had a bad reputation. That was last by a good margin. The White Sox were next to last at 31. Some specific quotes about the A's from players: because they're cheap. They're going to be playing in Sacramento. And here's one. I had a buddy who was traded to the A's as a minor leaguer. He went to Oakland, and he said the way they were fed, the places they stayed, they just weren't good. As far as your Yankees, here's a quote. The Yankees and Dodgers are the gold standards for players. Accommodations, free agents, home stadium is always packed. They take care of their guys. The food there is incredible. Everyone who goes to the Yankees absolutely loves it there. And it's just, this is where we should talk about it tomorrow or something, because I'm always obsessed with the ways that teams can improve themselves that have nothing to do with the salary cap.
That's it. I agree 100%. And that word travels like anything. I mean, it would be the same in anybody's industry out there that you're that you're listening to right now.
Yeah.
You go, oh, I'm a realtor and I'm debating, but I heard this company, and if whatever that I heard is, if it's positive or negative, is drawing you, is influencing you one way or the other. And I think, sure, you want to play, you want to pay, you want the opportunity, but if it's all
the same,
right? And then you go, but I hear they treat their players like this, positively or negatively.
Yes,
that's got to be a huge factor.
The Mets were one of the teams that had far more positive than negative,
and that's changed.
And it's changed. And most of the respondents all mentioned that Steve Cohen, since he got there, Citi Field's a newer stadium since Shea it took over for Shea Stadium, and they all mentioned the family room, that he put millions into their family room because he understands how important it is to take care of players' families. Look, if I own a professional sports team and I'm spending 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million on a player, I can spend $5 million on 5-star hotels, making sure there's a luxury box available for families and a beautiful I get these guys are spoiled. It's a different level. We're not talking about paid time.
You have to do it.
That's the game that you play. And in a game where things are so relatively similar between teams because of caps, if it's the difference, like, hey, you know what? I'm just using the Kings, who, by the way, have actually been pretty good about this.
Yeah.
Let's give credit where credit's due. If it's between the Kings and the Nuggets,
right?
But you know what? The way the Kings, man, where they stay on the road, the way they fly, their accommodations on the plane, and the way they take care of our families and all that. They have a specific group of ambassadors that work for that specifically are there to take care of parents and wives and kids. Why not?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Why not? The New York Knicks are looking for a new coach.
Yes, they are.
And they are getting blocked everywhere. Shams Charania just reported that they requested permission to speak to Jason Kidd, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, and were firmly told, go away. They have also asked for permission to speak to Chris Finch. They said no. Ime Udoka, the Rockets, said no. So,
yeah, the Kidd one had been out there a little bit, and then, that's, I don't know if the other teams saying no helped Dallas, but that's a weird thought. Let's just say, like, Dallas, like, okay, we'll allow you to talk to him. Wait,
well, what does that mean?
Yeah. Why are you saying?
Yeah,
I just think that's a weird premise. I mean, I get the permission part. That's protocol that needs to happen. But because they're still employed by the other team. But if you're as the employer, say, yeah, that's fine. Go talk to our guy.
Look, it's not the same, but let's have fun with analogies and metaphors and all that fun stuff. If I'm going to use Anthony and make him uncomfortable here, if Anthony said to me tomorrow, he goes, "Hey man, we became Facebook friends a few weeks ago, and I got to be honest, man, your wife's kind of hot."
Yeah,
I mean that respectfully, but look, would you mind if I asked her out? And I was like, I went to Melissa and I said, this guy at work thinks you're kind of hot.
Yeah.
He asked me for permission to not to marry you.
Yeah, just ask you out.
Who just wants to take you out. Now, two things here. Number one, what's that saying to my wife that I'm saying, look, if you want to, I'm good with it. Well, what's that saying to her? Secondly, if my wife says to me, oh, you know what? I'm looking at, oh, wow, I like those glasses he's wearing. That's kind of hot. He seems smart. I like his voice. Sounds like that King of the Hill guy. That kind of turns me on.
This was a private conversation.
I know. I'm bringing it on the air. Sorry, Anthony. I'm not trying to blow you up. Look, either way, if I give permission or if she allows that permit.
Right.
Now, what happens when it doesn't work out?
Changed.
They go out on a couple of dates. Obviously, if it works, hey, I'm getting me an upgraded model, a few years younger. Let's go. I'm just saying in this world.
Okay.
Or
a little quick with that.
By the way, or she is saying, I'm getting an upgraded model. This guy's got a big future. That big nose oaf, I'm done with him. But if they don't work out, hey, I'm glad it didn't work out. I didn't watch it. I was just testing you.
Come on back.
I was just testing you. By the way, what happened on that day? Yeah, it's just in relationships, it's not a good signal either way. So yeah, you're right. Also, if you're the Knicks and you fire Tom Thibodeau, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You were a sneeze away from the finals, and you make a move like that. I'm thinking you have an idea as to who you want. I'm thinking you probably have an idea as to who your next coach is going to be. And, oh, by the way, you've already had maybe you haven't gone on a date yet, but you met for cocktails. Mm-hmm. You Snapchatted each other. Maybe you sent a couple pics, see if they, thumbs up, maybe a heart emoji. I don't know. I would think you wouldn't say, we're getting a divorce. You've been a great spouse. I'm leaving you. Being single, by the way, is not an option. I have to have somebody. I'll figure it out. It's like musical chairs, man. So whatever. And by the way, if I'm a Knicks fan right now, I'm really nervous because we've, much like what the Kings are dealing with, okay, we were just a breath away from the finals, right? And we finally turned it around. Are you guys screwing things? Is James Dolan? Are you Dolaning?
Right.
Are we being Dolaned right now? Aaron Rodgers showed up for the Steelers' little minicamp thingy-dingy with a wedding ring. And he said yesterday that he tied the knot in the offseason, but has worked very diligently to protect the identity of his spouse. And by the way,
because he had some very public,
Olivia Munn and Danica Patrick, and I'm hey, you know what? Good for you. I don't need to know. I don't care who you. I mean, unless you're married to Jane Hitler. I don't need to know who you're. I'm just saying. I don't need to know who you're married to.
What's Jane up to these days?
Yeah, what is Jane up to? By the way, I've never thought of that. Sorry. Okay, like legit. Okay, I'm gonna ask. Like legit.
A problematic last name.
It is. It literally. Are there any Hitlers in the world? Like they would have changed their name, right? I'm honestly. You have to think he wasn't the first.
At least put an S in front of it.
That's
what I change it to.
Imagine getting called on in class and that's your last name. I mean, either way.
We were talking about first names yesterday. Yeah. Now that one, imagine going to school there. Like you had no relation. You're one of the you're one of the Norwegian Hitlers. No relation at all. And you're going to class to Stony Brook Junior High. Hitler, Bobby Hitler. Yeah, I don't.
That's Bob.
It's Robert Hitler. I'll bet you there's none. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna Google. I'm like, there's got to be like a white pages, right?
Yeah, we have white pages in here, don't we?
I'm just saying, dude. Like that one. Okay, we got a break.
Oh, I want to go deeper into that.
When we go, last thing, by the way, Jim Harbaugh had a hip surgery. He had a heart ablation. He had the heart issues last year. Sounds like he's in good health, and we're all happy about that. I want to make sure that got mentioned. We'll take a break. When we come back, Game 3, NBA Finals. Let's take our first preview as well. We'll do that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, Tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions. Savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Employee Pricing Plus sales event?
Anyone can get you employee pricing, but at Hoblet, it's all about the plus that you can only get here. Save up to $13,000 off MSRP on brand new 2025 heavy-duty Ram 2500 and 3500s. We have over 500 new Rams available, so your new Ram is waiting at Hoblet.
Well, how do you like the new heavy-duty trucks?
I love it. I took the new Ram 2500 with the high-output diesel and 8-speed transmission to Tahoe last weekend, and I have to say, I've not had this much fun driving a new truck in a long time. I've been driving diesels for 25 years, and this is easily the most fun, most powerful, and most responsive truck so far.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 and 3500 Laramie after 4,000 factory rebates and 9,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,500 select inventory bonus cash and $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. 8th of this net savings. Sample VIN 525043. See dealer for details.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through the week. Your week! So right now, I need every single listener on their feet. Callers, texters, YouTubers. Make some noise for Sacramento's favorite sports morning show. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, and the man behind the glass, Chris Berlon.
Man behind the glass, Anthony. It's Chris Berlon.
Is now dating your wife.
Yeah,
Apparently.
This just in. Yeah. Chris on vacation. I like to think of Chris right now currently sunning himself on a beach with like way too much sunscreen on and his little Chris glasses.
Just watching MacGruber.
Watching MacGruber. All right, we'll wrap this up because we want to pay it off. This is from an article from 2014. It's a story of a new documentary, at least 11 years ago, called Meet the Hitlers. We asked before the break if there were any left, just honestly. But okay, let me rephrase that. I asked. Jason has nothing to do with it. Jason's just, poor guy's just a bystander. Well, apparently they talked to the guy that directed the film, and I guess he got the idea. He said, and I quote here, "I have a friend from college who married a guy by the last name of Hitler. I remember visiting them and seeing the name on the buzzer. I would get Christmas cards saying Happy Holidays from the Hitlers." That's, I mean, how does that even get, how imagine ordering that one from Hallmark. There was something quirky about it. Got me thinking what it must be like to take on that name or to be born with that name, how it would affect your life and all that. And according to Wikipedia, this is interesting. As of 2014, Peru, with around 2,349 people, the citizens that have citizens named Hitler as a first name. I honestly am surprised.
Maybe it's pronounced something else.
All his descendants have apparently passed, by the way. He has no living relatives at all. But
end of those Hitlers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really honestly surprised. Look, I'm just gonna say, and maybe I'm on an island here. I'm gonna say, if somehow, some way, I was born with that last name. The moment I am 18 years old, I'm a Smith. I'm a Johnson. I'm a whatever, dude. I'm not. That is not. Imagine trying to get a radio job, and that's your last name. No one is tuning into Hitler in the morning. No one's touching that show. I'm
Harry Hitler here with you.
Yeah, hi. No, not happening. Move on. Nothing to see here. However, as we segue out of that one.
Those NBA finals.
NBA finals back tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder favored by 5.5 as the series is shifted to Indiana. Let's just start here, Jason Ross. I'm gonna give you an old timey sports radio question.
Okay.
Outside of needing to outscore the other team, what's your key to the game tonight?
For which team? Either team or just the game in general?
Let's start with overall and then go Pacers Thunder.
Well, probably the rest and adjustments, film study would be the key. Like, I think each team obviously spent a ton of time on that, figured out what they saw from each of the first two games. I think one of the biggest adjustments we saw from game 1 to game 2 was OKC's ability and desire to play multiple bigs, or at least have a big on the floor at all times. So now Indiana's counter to that, which Rick Carlisle's pretty good, pretty sharp, pretty bright. We'll see what he comes up with. I think that's a key to see. Again, I think that was one of the questions, and a fair one from game 1, that OKC came in as the heavy favorite and they changed their starting lineup. And I think that was a bit odd to me.
Yeah.
They weren't behind early. It didn't really set them back, but I just think the totality of the game, the fact that they had not played Holmgren and Hartenstein together until game 2 was a little bizarre.
You stole mine, but I'm not changing it in a sense. I think the overall key is, we're going to talk about player matchups, but it's coach matchup. And we talked about that before the series started, that Rick Carlisle is, I think, the best coach in the series. And I think Mark Daniel is a damn good coach, former coach of the year, which, by the way, means he'll be fired next year probably. Right. But Rick Carlisle, to me, is a top 5 coach, if not top 3 in the NBA. But again, a broken record. The fact that the Thunder adjusted in game 2 and they were able to come back off that loss and really, not blow them out, but that game was never in question.
They had it in control.
And they didn't let off, and also prevented Indiana from letting on, if you will, at the end. But, okay, so Rick Carlisle had about a week to, as you said, go through film, get ready, point out any discrepancies or weaknesses the Thunder had, and it worked in game 1. They figured it out. They won the game. I don't care how they won the game. They won the game. Thunder adjusted in game 2. Okay, so Carlisle's now had 2 full days with his team and his staff to go over and say, okay, this is what we did wrong in game 2. This is what we did right in game 1 that they responded to. Now it's his turn to move the bishop on the chessboard and see what happens in game 3. I'm really curious to see how noticeable, if at all, and how early we're going to be able to pick out what Indiana's trying to do, who they're trying to isolate, how they're trying to free up Halliburton, how they're, we heard Steve Nash and LeBron James talk about the intricacies of the Indiana offense and how unique it is, how they're going to move that around.
Yeah, and I think if you're thinking about game plan from Indiana, to me, nothing has shown that they're going, hey, we're going to let SGA go off and shut down the others.
That's right.
I think what they're trying to do is limit SGA as much as possible, which they're not able to do. I mean, he's a gifted player. Had an MVP year. So I'm making that point because on the other side, I think most people would say Indiana's best player is Tyrese Halliburton. If it's not him, it's Pascal Siakam.
That's right.
So whatever the debate is there, but Tyrese Halliburton is super important to them. And I think what OKC has done is limited him. And so Rick Carlisle and the Pacers have to figure out, how do we get more And sometimes more people just go scoring. And yeah, you'll take more scoring from Tyrese Halliburton. But I would say more of an impact. And his impact, he could have 17 assists and totally control the game. I think the first game, it was kind of a nice stroke of genius to take him off the ball a little bit. He didn't have that big of a game, but he was there for the biggest moments of the game, which he's been incredible in the postseason. But now that we're 2 games in, he's too important for them to be just kind of another guy.
That's right.
And again, I don't know that there's a point total that he has to hit, but it's probably a point and assist total where he's a huge part of their offense. Certainly the turnovers have to come down. His rebounding's been fine, but it can't be, the first half is here and he's got 4 shot attempts and 3 assists. Like that's not going to work against this team.
He can't be a bystander.
He can't.
He can't be a passenger.
Yeah,
he's got to drive
30.
Right.
He doesn't. But it doesn't need to has to have this many shots. It's just when everybody's watching, you can see he's not having the kind of impact that you would say your best player or one of your best players needs to have.
Well, now we get to that's for the Thunder. I'll go back to, I'm not changing off of this, not unless something crazy happens. This to me is the key to the entire series, and I'm going to call it a Thunder key.
I like that.
Thunder key. It's Lou Dort. It's Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
That's it.
You got to figure that out.
That is the alpha and the omega. If Lou Dort, who has had success, we talked about that coming into the finals, nobody guards Tyrese Halliburton in a small sample size better than Lou Dort. If Lou Dort can continue to, and if the Thunder can help, what Lou Dort also does is he gives the Thunder the ability to relax and sag back on everybody else. If he can continue to frustrate, and I think that's a key word, to frustrate Tyrese Halliburton and limit him, the Pacers are cooked.
Yeah, and I think it could be something as simple as, can Tyrese, we talk about it when De'Aaron was here, but like paint touches.
Yeah.
That puts pressure on the defense. That collapses things. I know they've talked a lot about during the broadcast that OKC's one area of vulnerability, maybe it's part of the way they scheme defensively, is they leave some corner threes open.
Yes.
Well, if Halliburton's able to get a few more paint touches and get a few more corner 3 attempts for other people, and obviously they have to start making them, I mean, that's, their window, I think, is really small, but there is a window to do this.
There is.
And Tyrese has to be better. He hasn't been awful, but it's not. I mean, you leave the 2 games, you go, man, SGA's, God, he's such a problem. We're watching that, and if you hadn't seen Tyrese Halliburton or didn't know about Tyrese Halliburton, I think sometimes it's hard to watch that Pacers team play and you go, who is the best player on that team?
Yeah.
You know who it is on the Thunder, and there's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt about it. They have a clear-cut identity. And on one hand, you'd say, oh, well, the Pacers are more well-balanced.
Yeah, that's a good thing in that.
Sure, but at the same time, they're not winning. And I think what's really scary for the Pacers, you could look at the separate box scores, and you could go, there's an argument, actually, that Tyrese Halliburton was better in Game 2 than he was in Game 1.
Yeah, just by the numbers. Yeah.
17 points in Game 2, 14 in Game 1, 2 steals in Game 2, 0 in Game 1, 2 blocks in Game 2, 1 in Game 1, 6 assists in both. Now, in Game 1, Tyrese had 10 boards to 3 in Game 2. Okay. But he shot better from the field. He shot better from beyond the arc. He made one more three-pointer and had a better percentage in Game 2 than Game 1.
Yeah.
By the numbers, he actually had a better Game 2 than a Game 1, and they lost.
That's about, 15 and 6 is the average?
Yeah.
The 15's probably okay.
Sure.
But if it's 15, he needs to be at 12 assists.
That's 100% correct. And also, we pointed this out before, Tyrese Halliburton doesn't turn the ball over, at least not with his usage rate. That's his calling card.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
4 turnovers a game ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, the whole team is guilty of it. OKC's great at that, but you got to be able to handle that pressure better. And, you gave the number before Game 1. 110 is the magic number for the Pacers and against the Thunder.
Yeah.
They didn't get to 110 in Game 1 or Game 2. I think I can't remember what their record is this postseason when Tyrese goes for 20 or more, but I think it's undefeated. So, I mean, these are numbers. I know it's just stats, but those are good indicators. They got to score a bunch of points as much as they can against that great defense. Tyrese has got to have a huge impact on the team. And then they need everybody else too. It can't just be, Tyrese had 30 and 12 and nobody else was that good. They kind of need the collective, need to rely on the home crowd. Still count on the fact that, look, they did get the split. They're here. They're in a good position. It's just they're still the underdogs. There's a smaller margin of error for them, and they're playing a great team.
Depending on how you want to look at it, Jason, the Pacers in the postseason are 7-0 when Tyrese Halliburton scores more than 20 points.
Okay.
They're 6-1 when he scores 20 or more. There was the one game against the Knicks. They lost 106-100 where he had exactly 20 points on 7 of 15 shooting, and they lost that one. So if we want to correct it to when he scores more than 20, they're 7-0. That's not 2-0 or 3-0. Right. That's 7-0.
Yeah.
And when you look at their road to date, they have 13 postseason victories. 7 of those 13 came when Tyrese Halliburton scored more than 20. And there was a really good article. I can't remember if it was The Athletic or ESPN. They had on Drew Hanlon, his shooting coach and shooting coach to the stars, if you will. And it talked, and they got both Drew Hanlon and Tyrese Halliburton talking about the numbers and what Hanlon had kind of bore into Tyrese's brain. And it was all about you have to. Remember we talked about the other day, sometimes you can be too unselfish, so unselfish it's selfish.
Right.
And so Hanlon started using the color orange as a reminder to Tyrese Halliburton to look for the orange rim, to shoot the ball in the orange thing, to the point where on the road, when Tyrese would get into his room, Hanlon would have a key and he would get to the room before him and he flooded his room with goldfish, Reese's peanut butter cups. I think it was a stuffed animal. It was orange everywhere just to try to bore into his brain. You have to look for your shot. And they had some great numbers. I should find it. When Tyrese Halliburton shoots X amount of times, their record is insane.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of fighting that very good instinct of I need to involve my teammates and I need to be a little bit more selfish and look to score.
Yeah, it's that balance. And, sometimes it comes down to can you win the one-on-one matchups? And if Dort is beating him defensively, advantage OKC. I mean, you're taking away a huge piece, an important element of what the Pacers do. And again, it doesn't have to be a ball dominant situation. He's really good at advancing the ball, passing to people, getting other people involved, pushing the pace through the pass. But there were moments in the Knicks series where he was, I think it was the decider. He had about 4 fourth quarter runs into the paint, running floaters that are kind of difficult shots, but he made them all. And you're like, he's just putting so much pressure on the defense. I just really haven't seen a lot of those. The defense has been awesome. Credit OKC, but they got to figure out a way to get him loose a little more.
So I know I said Dort and Halliburton for the Thunder, and we kind of agree on that. And I think you kind of just dove into the key. Is your key is it Halliburton just simply getting loose?
More.
So basically then let's, for the sake of conversation, we both agree that we talked about the coaches, but I also think we're trying to fill categories. I think you and I would probably agree the theme to this series, the key to this series, the key for the Thunder and the key for the Pacers are some form of Lou Dort versus Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. Okay. In some way, shape, or
Let's
form.
take that off the table then. So we've got the coaches overall. If you're taking the Dort Halliburton thing off the table, then now are we talking, the next best player or the best player is Siakam.
Mm-hmm.
But let me take that off the table too. Who is your X factor for the Pacers?
For the Pacers?
Who is your X factor that is not Halliburton, Carlisle, or Pascal Siakam?
Nembhard.
I agree with you 100%.
Because of his scoring ability, his ability to hit some threes, but he's had a lot of the minutes and the reps on SGA. So it's clearly not only him guarding him, but sometimes when there's shot clock, numbers down or the isolation, it's him. And so he's got to you're trying to stop the league's leading scorer in the MVP, but can you win a few of those? A few more than you did in game 1 and game 2. That's, SGA didn't have the best game 1. He was good.
Sure.
But he was really good in game 2. So, that would be the next one for me, Nembhard.
The one that really kind of, if there is an enigma for the Pacers, it's Benedict Mathurin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what's going on with that. Now that was a guy I will never forget. You were very high on him in the draft, and for good reason.
Right.
He's had a good start to his career this year. He's 22, just turned. As a matter of fact, turns 23 next week. 16 points, 5.3 boards, 2 assists on 45% shooting, and just incredibly athletic. By the way, his rookie year was his best year so far. Not that he's fallen off; he's been incredibly consistent. But it just seems like he's sort of been. He has been incredibly inconsistent in the playoffs. Jason, if I'm looking at the guy's game log, okay, I'm just going to go over his minutes totals for the last few.
Okay.
22, 16, 9, 25, 12, 8, 11, 21, 11, 1, 27, 20, 23, 16, 14, 17, 25. Oh, it's all over the place. And I don't know if that's Rick Carlisle. You know, generally, I think when you see stuff like that, generally, and you have a veteran coach, that's something that's happening off. That's dude, you're not getting playing time if you keep doing this or if you don't do this. And could be defense, could be turning the ball over, could be setting the screen. Generally, when you have a vet coach like that and you've got a young player, that's one of those, this is how you stay on the floor. And if you don't do it, I'm pulling you.
Right, you're done.
I don't have the answer.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I would say, like you said, he's too talented and too important for them too to not have an impact in the series. He's really not that much.
Obi Toppin's another, if he's not the X factor, he's the Y factor for this team. The former New York Knick, Obi Toppin in college was, as a matter of fact, there was a time when the Kings were taking a gander at Obi Toppin. He kind of got lost with the Knicks. He's found himself. He's a major contributor to this Pacers team. And weirdly enough, Obi Toppin, 27. I don't know. For some reason, I thought he was younger than that. And this is a guy that's been all over the place when it comes to, when you look at his averages for the series, he's averaging, 8 to 10 points a game, but he had 3 in game 2, 17 in game 1. And then against the Knicks, 18, 11, 5, 8, 4, 8. But he's one of those, I don't know. I like, sometimes these players, I'll call them like brawny, like the paper towel. They're the quicker picker upper. They just know where to fit in. They know where the leaks are, and they seem to find, you need a big alley-oop dunk to get the crowd going. There you go. Oh, he just dove for that steal, and they had it's hard to put your finger on, and he's a all defense guy, or he is a proven scorer. He's like a look, this isn't the right example, but it's similar to how I feel about Josh Hart with the Knicks. It's not going to blow you out of the water what you see, but an incredible contributor to this team.
He had a lot of big shots in game 1, those threes that kept them close to help lead that comeback at the end. Same with Turner.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's anxious to see with the adjustments. I feel like they happen certainly between games 1 and game 2, and then maybe about game 3 to game 4, it kind of feels like they all get fine-tuned, and then everything about the opposing team, and now you just go and compete. So I think we got another level, maybe 1 to 2 more levels of adjustments for each side, and that's probably about it. And then you just go.
If we're talking about the Thunder and we're taking SGA off the table, I think we would both go to Jalen Williams. But if we go with the same, and maybe not, we go with the same Pacer example of who's the X factor, even though he's a starter. For me, I feel like I know what I'm going to get out of SGA. I know what I'm going to get out of Jalen Williams. I know what I'm going to get out of Alex Caruso. I'm looking at Chet Holmgren. Yeah,
He's really good in game 2.
Really good in game 2, and shockingly, they won. Not great in game 1. And I don't, and it's a very interesting challenge for Mark Daniel when it comes to Chet Holmgren, who, by the way, is still incredibly young. This is effectively his second year in the league. He had the injury. I don't want to say where Chet Holmgren goes, the Thunder go, but I also don't think it's a coincidence that they picked up Isaiah Hartenstein and paid him all that money.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're ready to trust Chet Holmgren. He just turned 23 a month ago. He's just all arms and legs right now, but you can see obviously the talent that's there. But 6 points on 2 of 9 in 24 minutes with a block and 6 boards, no assists, no steals. Very 0 of 1 from beyond. It just very much for a guy that averaged 18 and 6 and almost 2 blocks a game against the Knicks. This has not been. He showed signs of life in game 2, but I think it's hard for the Thunder, a lot harder without him.
Yeah, he fills in a lot of the spots of need for them when he's on the floor of certainly height, size, shot blocking ability, presence in the paint, but the ability to step out. He's been important. But I when you said him earlier, I'm so impressed every time you watch Caruso.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it gets back to some of the conversations that we've had where sometimes it's your environment that you're put in. Alex Caruso's always been good.
That's right.
He won a championship with the Lakers. He was good with the Lakers. I mean, he was a good player with the Bulls, but when you're kind of out of sight, out of mind on a team that's not as good, his impact, I don't think, is felt as much. Now you're on a team that's championship caliber, championship favorite, and you go, man, that's a nice guy to have on your team. I mean, that I think Caruso's a classic case. Like, if someone paid him to be, hey, go be our guy, that's not it. But go be a huge piece to a team that's winning. That's the kind of guy you like on your team.
And undrafted.
Yep.
Undrafted, which I got to be honest with you. It's funny. He was undrafted in 2016. He joined the Sixers for Summer League. Then he signed with the Thunder and was waived about a little less than a month after he signed. He played for the Oklahoma City Blue of the Development League and then joined the Lakers the next year. You got to give credit to the Lakers. Austin Reeves and Alex Caruso were undrafted, and the Lakers turned them both into, whether you want to call them stars or not.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. And as we go to break, when you talk about Caruso, I think you make a very salient point about the surroundings. I'll repeat it. I think at the end of the day, if I had to bet money, I think Josh Giddey's going to have a better career than Alex. I think he's going to be a better player at the end of his career than Alex Caruso. That's just what I think. I think Giddey's going to be fantastic. And I think Alex Caruso is fantastic too. I think Giddey's and plus he's super young.
Right.
Alex Caruso fits this Thunder team so much better than Josh Giddey. And when you get to that level, you don't draft for need, but I think you trade for need.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference there.
Yeah.
I think when you're at that level, you're trading for need. And I think Sam Presti, it's an underrated move he made. You know how I feel about Presti. But for him to give up a very nice asset in Josh Giddey, to grab a guy in Alex Caruso, he knows Giddey's going to be better, but Alex Caruso is 10 times the better player for the Thunder than Giddey would have been this year.
Absolutely.
We'll take a break. When we come back, the U.S. Open starts tomorrow. What are the storylines going into that? And that Oakmont crowd in Pennsylvania, what is the energy going to be like on that golf course? Oh, wow. Speaking of, Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends over at American Energy Heating and Air. Hot, 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 hot. It's going to be so hot. It's already kind of hot, but these days have been better. As a matter of fact, this morning it was nice and breezy. I had to turn on the little space heater in the old outside gazebo area where I write the show. And when it was all crazy hot last week, especially, I was thinking about how great American Energy was, how well they did with my air conditioning unit that's about a month old now. And I'm looking ahead to the weather next Tuesday and Wednesday, 97 degrees. We're going to be back. It's going to be a lot hotter next week. If you're not going to or don't need to replace your air conditioning unit, at least do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Get it inspected. Get it tuned up. $24.50 right now. That's come on, man. That's a combo meal at Five Guys. If you have the opportunity for a company that's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981, come out to your pad, make sure you are dialed in all summer long and beyond, and also to give you any heads ups in case you've got trouble on the horizon. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. When we get back, get to the U.S. Open next.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest, Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Finals.
In the NBA Finals, any moment can become unforgettable.
Oh, blocked by James!
Now is your chance to watch the next moment you'll remember forever.
Jordan, open! Chicago with the lead!
Unforgettable awaits.
Anything possible!
The 2025 NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV continue on ABC.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
The U.S. Open begins tomorrow. Yeah, it's golf's next major. And if anybody's seen some of the footage that's been out there, anybody that's played any golf too, seen the rough that they have to deal with. Some of the best are just being tortured. It's kind of the charm for some. Some don't enjoy the fact that you're watching the best in the world struggle like that, but others do. But the U.S. Open begins tomorrow. It was great catching up yesterday and hearing more about the Zach Polo story, and certainly Tom Morton, friend of the show, friend of many out there in our area, will be his caddy. So tomorrow, Dave, I'm certainly going to be following that group. What is that, third to last out?
Yeah,
tomorrow?
third to last out there with Zach. And just reading about now, look, not everybody listening is going to be into golf, but everybody's into meltdowns and watching athletes fail. It is going to be carnage. I just was reading an article as we read coming in, you know how hard, if you know golf, how hard Oakmont is. But then now that They finished all the mowing and everything. Like the course is ready for tomorrow. And players have been out testing it. They say that the fairways at Oakmont, the ball is rolling on those fairways at a similar speed and distance to what you would deal with at a normal municipal course's greens. What does that mean? That first off, you're going to have some really long drives.
Right.
Secondly, holding the fairway is so ridiculously difficult because if you're offline at all, you're going to roll out a while, but you're going to end up off the fairway. And in some cases, that rough, they have been mowing for months now. The grass left one day, right the other, forward one day, back the other. I watched this whole thing yesterday with the groundskeeper, excuse me, about how they're training the roots so that they don't eventually lie down. Now, granted, scores will likely go down in a good way for the players as the U.S. Open progresses, in depending on the weather, in part because the galleries are eventually going to trample a lot of this down. They're going to get lucky there. But these balls are going into this the rough, and you're pulling out a 60 degree, a 56, and all you're trying to do, these guys, the best players in the world, are hitting the ball 40 yards day. It's a stroke, basically.
Trying to punch it out of there somehow.
Right. So when you're looking at the favorites to win this thing, you can start with the guys that are the most accurate off the tee, the guys with the best short game, the guys that are hitting the most greens in regulation this season. This is, sure, long drivers, and I'm not saying DeChambeau can't win it. Long drivers like him are always going to have a little bit of a leg up. But if you're having this is where like a guy like Jordan Spieth has almost no chance at winning this. He's one of the most talented guys out there, and watch, he wins. But Jordan's calling card the last few years has been his inconsistency and his wizardry with being able to get out of trouble. Oakmont's not that course. You get in trouble, you're in trouble, and I don't care who you are. You're on the church pew bunkers where they've got those ridges in there. You're in that crazy rough. I don't care who you are. You're going to get penalized.
Yeah, and I think it's, something that we've seen in the past in the U.S. Open where it's just so difficult. And for us as viewers or people that have played golf themselves, probably will never, ever be able to relate. And I think, they relate in the sense that we've all hit grounders and chunked shots, but they're doing it because of the course.
Yes.
Not just because of inability or lack of skill.
When you look at the odds, the betting odds to win the Open, there's no shock. Scotty Scheffler is the favorite. He would also be my pick too, just because of his insane. You ever watch any videos of Scotty Scheffler warming up on the range, being able to call out his numbers and then hit them? And when they do, there's one video I remember seeing. He was on the range and it kind of fast forwarded through, and they had the shot tracker that would show the arc and landing of where his ball was. And it just fast forwarded through like 26 iron shots. And by the end of the 20, generally when you see, like if you and I went out on the range and hit our 6 iron, you'd see an arc going this way, then an arc this way. They'd be pretty close together, but you'd see the different arcs. Yeah, right. Scotty Scheffler's was basically one solid line. He was just that damn accurate. Accuracy is absolutely going to play in. He is a heavy favorite at plus 275. This is Bryson DeChambeau is plus 750. He's the second favorite in there. I don't feel like this is his week. I don't like DeChambeau going into this weekend. Followed by Rahm, McIlroy. I think when you start getting into value plays here, not that we're big bettors, that's when you look at guys like Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa. When you start looking at guys, Justin Thomas, that have the ability to be incredibly consistently accurate, I think that's what it's going to take. I think on Sunday, whoever raises the trophy is the one that did not, but did not get in trouble the most.
Yeah, I think that's avoiding the big hole. Like, it sounds like there's a chance that people could have some really bad, triple bogeys kind of things, and that can just bury you in a tournament like this.
I really am very curious to see if the final score is going to be under par.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever played with someone, well, Tom, I know you have, but like someone that you would say is a pro or close to that level?
No, Tom would be the closest.
Okay. Which, I mean,
but no, that would be the closest.
And I think that's one of the beauties of golf, like the skill level of, for example, this would be a terrible, but you and I could go out and play on the PGA, not even play on the PGA Tour, but play with PGA Tour players. And for whatever reason, on a par 3, maybe our shot was closer.
Sure.
There's a chance.
Absolutely.
Not very many times, maybe never, but there's a chance of that. I think what I found a few times I've played with people that I would consider to be that level or that good, the shot to the green, they don't miss.
Nope.
Whatever that is, if that's 180 out, if that's, now if they're a lot closer, they're also now going to not only not miss, they're going to be within 10 feet of the cup. Now, you and I might get on. I might miss. I might be 40 yards right. Then I'm chipped. Then you start to see where the separation there's obviously 100 examples of where the separation is, but the shots that they can get to the green are always going to get on the green.
And the shots available to them as well as opposed to us. Like if we've got tree trouble and we're 110 yards out, we got a tree in front of us in our path, we're probably screwed. Their ability just to, I'll hit a high cut.
Yeah.
I'll put a little slicey pants on this. Their ability to shape the ball at will. And then, by the way, let's say they're not on the green. They're in the bunker. They're in the fringe, wherever.
No trouble.
Forget about it. The short game is really where the difference is. As we go to break, I just want to point this out. Some amongst the top names in driver accuracy so far this season. Colin Morikawa, as we mentioned, is right there at number 2 behind Aaron Rai. The names I would look for on this list, honestly, don't be surprised if you see him in the mix Sunday. Morikawa, Sepp Straka, who's been hot. Let me find another name here. Shane Lowry. And then, of course, Scotty Scheffler. I would say Scheffler's my favorite, but if I had to pick somebody else, it'd be Morikawa and Lowry maybe it'll surprise me. I just don't think this is Bryson's type of course. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, we'll go streaking, and we'll get to the draft here pretty soon as we get close. 2 weeks away from the NBA draft. 2 weeks in a day for the Kings NBA draft. We'll get to that next.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
We get it. Tariffs are tough. Power tools are getting expensive. But at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, we're solving that problem for 2 short days on June 20th and June 21st. We're putting all DeWalt power tools on massive discount. Batteries for less than $100. Combo kits for under $150. 20% off all regular price tub system boxes and much, much more. So stop by Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento on June 20th and 21st for some of the lowest prices on tools you'll ever see this year. To see all of what's on sale, visit FastenersInc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right, we got to figure out who's hot and who's not. So, Anthony, tell us who is hot.
Who's hot? Aaron Judge.
Yeah, all rise.
Through 55 games, he's batting .396, which is the fourth best in franchise history through 55 games, beating out Lou Gehrig twice and Babe Ruth. Or not beating out, he's behind him.
Has he even done anything lately at all?
Straight up, outfield straight away and deep. Pitch swung on high, fly ball, deep left field. Forget about it. My goodness, did he hit that? Oh, almost up the Hall of Fame. My goodness. Home run, Aaron Judge, 2-0 Yankees here in the first. Oh.
469.
I don't know. Would that have been out of, I don't know how many parks that would have been out of.
Most of them.
Yeah. Probably 469.
They said it was the third longest of the year. Trout hit one. They said 484.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Man.
He still got it.
Fish out of water.
Well, then, who's not hot?
The Colorado Rockies.
Colorado Rockies.
Yeah. They gave up 4 runs in the top of the ninth to blow a 5-2 lead, losing 6-5 against the San Francisco Giants. They've lost 4 in a row.
Poor Rockies.
That's not even that bad of a losing streak for them.
Oh, they've been hot lately.
4 is mild.
Yeah. 5 is spicy.
Yes.
I don't know, dude. All right, let's go streaking, shall we please?
Let's do it.
Let's just.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking. Hey, by the way, I haven't updated the season stats in a while. For
Oh,
everybody
you
out there.
haven't. That's right. I didn't want to say anything.
You know, Anthony is not enough games to participate, but he's participating in streaking today. Chris, on the season, is batting .266.
Yeah.
He has 8 home runs and 30 RBI.
Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I'm at .285 with 11 home runs and 42
Wow,
RBI.
that's a lot of power.
And then, Dave, you're at .247 with 10 homers and 30 RBI.
Yeah, my guys aren't doing that great.
So, but going into today on the streaking list, you were at 0. I'm at 0. Wow, Chris is at 6. And Anthony's at 1.
By the way, we were talking earlier about how the Mavericks, the Rockets, teams have been rejecting
T-Wolves,
the T-Wolves, the Knicks' overtures towards their coaches. Apparently, Milwaukee has granted permission for New York to speak to Doc Rivers, but the Knicks turned it down. So
he's a former Knick.
He is a former Knick.
Yeah.
That is old Glenn Rivers.
Doc Rivers. All right, Dave, you took Jose Ramirez
I did.
of the Guardians. They didn't score a run yesterday. They didn't have many hits.
Jose
Ramirez got it 4 times. Jose Ramirez
got a hit. Hey, all right.
there you go. You're at 1.
Okay, good job.
I took Elliot Ramos from the Giants, scored, as Anthony just said, got 4 runs in the 9th. He knocked one of those runs in, but did it with a sac fly, and he was 0 for 2.
Oh, that's just still sack fly.
So I'm at 0 still. Anthony's at 1, trying to get to 2. He took from the Houston Astros, Jeremy Pena. Pena got it 4 times, and Jeremy Pena got 2 hits. So Anthony's now on a 2-game hitting streak. And Chris, who was at 6, trying to get to 7, told us yesterday he was going to take Ronald Acuna Jr. And the Braves only scored 1 run. He got 4 plate appearances, and he got 3 hits.
Wow.
And an RBI.
Come on, man.
Chris is at 7.
This is starting to get a little worrisome.
Yeah, you have the season best still of 11.
That's right.
I have 9 is my best. Chris, this is now a season high for his 7-game hitting streak.
Well, time for that to wrap up.
All right.
By the way, if he's going to do this, I'm kind of glad he's not here.
Yeah.
So we don't have to listen to him yammer.
Well, he's already picked Jackson Holiday, so he's already sent me his pick for today.
I think it's actually a surprise he hasn't picked Jackson Holiday this entire streak. How is that even possible?
Well, he did. But he just can't do it again. Yeah. Yeah, no, he did early on.
Okay, I got you.
All right, so Dave, you can take anybody but Jose Ramirez for today.
Give me Bobby Witt Jr.
I'm going to take, for the first time this year, because he was just called up the other day, the Red Sox phenom prospect, Roman Anthony.
Roman Anthony got his first major league hit, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah, it was a double. Do you have it?
A double. I was looking. No, I just have the Trevor Story home run.
That's a different story. Different Trevor. Chris is taking Manny Machado.
Double M.
Anthony, you could take anybody but Jeremy Pena or Manny Machado.
Jung-Hoo Lee.
Jung-Hoo Lee.
Yeah.
Jung-Hoo Lee.
Who?
Jung-Hoo Lee.
Oh.
Are you a hooligan?
You could say that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
He's in the Hitter's Park tonight.
It is a Hitter's
Park.
Park.
Like Elliot Ramos was yesterday.
Let's go around the league a little bit. Here's Aaron Rodgers on his nuptials.
Is that an aura ring or anything else? Like wedding ring?
Yeah, it's a wedding ring.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How long ago?
It's been a couple months.
All right.
That was comfortable.
That was super awesome to listen to. How about
anyway? Back off.
How's your soul, Aaron Rodgers?
I don't need it for my ego. I don't need it to keep playing. A lot of decisions that I've made over my career and life from strictly the ego, even if they turn out well, are always unfulfilling. But the decisions made from the soul are usually pretty fulfilling. So this was a decision that was best for my soul. And I felt like being here with Coach T and the guys that got here, and the opportunity here was the best for me, and I'm excited to be here.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
My soul.
My soul. That's foolish, Hugh. Take him to the farmer's market. I don't know what this is. This is a quote from LeBron James that says, never get involved with kids' coaches.
I've never got involved with my kids' coaches. From Bronny growing up to where he is now, and Bryce, on his way to Tucson, to Arizona. I've never got involved. I've never went to a practice and sat through practice the whole time to see how my son was being utilized. I never got on the phone with the coaches. Listen, he's there. Coach my son. Coach him however you want to. And I think you need to hold him accountable. I hope you hold him more accountable than any other kid here, and say what you need to say, no matter how it's being said, because it's not, sometimes it's not. If you could just take the message, and not as about how he said it, just take the message out of it. I think that builds character as well.
Okay. Never get involved.
Yeah.
Just saw this come across my timeline. This is one of my favorite clips, although I've never played it on the radio before, so hopefully I think it's okay. Remember the baseball player Adam LaRoche?
Yeah.
Okay. His son was accompanying him in spring training as a little boy, not that long ago, a couple years ago, and he was meeting some of the other coaches and players on the team. His kid was, and he struck up a conversation with this guy.
Play for the Kansas City Royals.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Play for the Kansas City Royals.
How long did you play there?
But your dad was about your age when I played there. How old is your dad?
35.
Yeah. So I played for Kansas City in 86, 87. So I'm way older than your dad. So yeah, your dad was a little boy. He was probably younger than you when I played with. I played with Kansas City, Chicago White Sox, and the California Angels. And I played with the Raiders. Yeah. You ever heard of the Heisman Trophy? That's the best college football player in the country. I won that.
So you played
football on the professional level, yes.
So what are the Raiders are from?
They were in Los Angeles, but they're in Oakland now. But when I played, they were in Los Angeles. I'm the only player to make it to the Pro Bowl in football and the All-Star game in baseball. And I'm the MVP of the All-Star game.
That's pretty awesome.
So I've been there a little bit.
Hey,
baby Robbie. Hey, Robbie.
Awkward.
I never get tired of that.
He doesn't know Bo.
This kid has no idea who Bo Jackson is. And Bo's doing something.
He's giving his resume, which is kind of funny, which I'm sure he never does.
I was going to say, that was probably incredibly enjoyable for Bo Jackson. Yeah. How many times in Bo Jackson's life over the last 50 years has Bo had to tell somebody who he is and explain, I did a couple things, kid. Yeah, I played in the Pro Bowl in football, played in the All-Star game, and I was pretty good. And kid's just like, oh, yeah. Oh.
It was like when he said the Raiders, it broke his brain.
Yeah, kid didn't. Oh, the Raiders are I'm not advocating nothing here, but if I'm Adam LaRoche and I find out my son, it's kind of a bad look on Adam LaRoche. Bro.
Come on.
Yeah, I might want to send him to sports school.
Yeah.
Maybe watch a documentary or 12. Oh, you played for I guess that's pretty. And you couldn't see it because you were listening, but the kind of slap.
The cap.
Bo is slapping the kid's cap to make some points. Yeah. Kid's like, and then when Bo's done, kid just adjusts his cap like, okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Thanks. I guess you were pretty good. We'll take a break.
Adam LaRoche.
Right. When we come back, 2 weeks away from the NBA draft, what are the Sacramento Kings going to do? Rumors galore. And Jason's got a list of the best 42nd picks in NBA history. We'll get to it next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Woodland. Chad, tell me what's happening for the Employee Pricing Plus sales event.
Anyone can get you employee pricing, but at Hoblet, it's all about the plus. You can only get here. Save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 crew cabs. One of the many reasons we are the #1 Ram truck dealer in California.
But why do you think Hoblet's consistently California's #1 Ram truck dealer?
You won't find a better price on the Ram truck you need. And with 500 new Rams available, no one has a better selection. Plus, being a 5th-generation family-owned dealer, you get the big city selection and savings with the small-town service, and we have 7 Walter P. Chrysler Service Awards to prove it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie after 6,000 factory rebates and 10,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,500 select inventory bonus cash, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. Employee pricing factored into dealer discount. 5% savings. Sample VIN 711632. See dealer for details.
This summer, give your kids a reason to smile brightly. At Kids Care Dental, we make dental visits fun with a kid-friendly team, easy to schedule appointments, and expert doctors who really care.
Whether it's a checkup, a cleaning, or their very first visit, we've got you covered. We accept most insurances, and we're always ready when your schedule gets hectic.
Smiles grow here. Book online in minutes at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com. Kids Care Dental, where healthy teeth make happy kids.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Well, it's game 3 tonight of the NBA Finals. Series tied at 1. Pacers, Thunder. Series shifting to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Saw the stat that game 3s in the playoffs, Pacers are 0-3. Thunder are 1-2. It's interesting.
But isn't it, what was the one with the Pacers? Was it game 2s or no, it was game 1s they were undefeated.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Mm-hmm.
Which still holds true now.
Maintained 4-0, yeah.
He's been holding forever. I want to get to our guy Mitch real
quick.
Sorry.
Hey, Mitch.
Mitch, you're on with Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave. Good morning.
How's it going, Carmichael? Good afternoon, Jason.
Hey, good morning.
It's
Afternoon.
easier. My wife forgets me a lot of times. But anyway, first of all, the Knicks, what are they doing? They let go of Ollie Tobin. Heck of a player.
Oh, I love Ollie Tobin.
I think that's a chick. Did I mispronounce his last name?
No, you got it.
So he should be starting. He can start for a lot of teams. They also have 2 other lottery picks do start in the air. But I think the Cinderella story ends starting tonight. I think Thunder are deep. Another guy that's come star just like Halliburton is Jalen Williams. You know, you need 2, like Michael Jordan says, you need 2 stars at least to win these championships. And I think they found their star in Jalen Williams. And you were talking about Aaron Judge, he's a heck of a player. I wanted the Dodgers not only to keep Seager and Trey Turner. I wanted them to get Mr. Judge there.
So they can have everybody?
Well, I'm hoping they trade for Bo Bichette because got to go. And Muncy, he was on my out until he's come through in the last 2 weeks. And I believe there's another, and I'll let you go after this. There's another Max Muncy. He's playing for the A's.
That's right.
I know, no relation.
Is that right?
Shortstop, I think. Hold on to this talent.
That's crazy. I didn't. Yeah, 2 Max Muncies in the baseball the same. What are the odds?
They have the same birthday.
They do.
Not the same year.
Not the same year. Same birthday though. Heard that. Well, you never know what you're going to learn, Mitch.
Right. I know. Say I'm like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
You are. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mitch.
Mitch Muncy.
What did you say?
Mitch Muncy.
No, is oh yeah, the Pacers guy, Ollie Tobin.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
We say he's one of the X factors.
He was good in game 1.
He was. Ollie Tobin of the New Hampshire.
Man, McAfee's outside. You know he'd be outside the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's gonna be an Indiana Fest today.
He's wearing an over-8 D's.
Yeah, with a picture of Halliburton.
Yeah. Why is he like a Pacers guy or something? That Pat McAfee. Yeah. Wonder if he'll even get. I wonder if Halliburton will make an appearance. Imagine what
game day.
Look at all those Indianans.
Yeah.
Indianan, right?
Yeah.
They're not Indians.
No.
That's not. I'm just saying that's not. They're referred.
Right.
I think it's Indianan, right?
Yeah. Pacer fans.
Oh, Hoosier.
Oh, Hoosiers.
Hoosier
daddy.
Right? A Hoosier. Yeah. Oh, and what was by the way, real quick, what was Mad Dog Russo mad about earlier that you
they
pointed
have
out
a list of Mad Dog things that he's mad about, but he was mad about people overhyping Denzel Clark's home run robbing catch. I'm like, really?
Come on, Mad Dog. You're a baseball guy.
Okay, you don't have to say it's the greatest catch ever, but it's one of the great catches we've ever seen. It is.
It is one of, exactly. Look,
but by saying it's one of, could be one of 20, could be one of 5, could be one of 100. It's one of the best catches I've ever seen.
It is. Sorry, you got me on this thing now. Real quick, this is ADD in full display. All right, Jason, can you name? You were talking about what is he mad about?
Mad about you
already?
Yeah.
Bye.
Hang on. Debbie Gibson?
You're in.
Tiffany.
You are so in the ballpark, dude. There's like 4.
It's not the Bengals.
That's you're now 5.
Wait,
I'm waiting on Banana Rama next. It's not them.
Expose.
It's not expose. Although
this is making me mad. What other song do they have? Or is this it?
Hold on, I need to verify something.
This
here.
sounds like the Go-Go's. Belinda Carlisle.
There you go.
Okay,
I was just gonna say you're technically
got it
right.
Sorry, I was like, I know this song.
I had such a crush on Belinda Carlisle. I'm not gonna lie. Older woman, much older. You know how old she is now? Old B car.
Let me see. Hang on. I'll do celebrity birthdays.
Her birthday is August 17th.
She is going to turn. Let Let me see. Let me do some math here. 70.
You know what? You're going to feel a little better about this. No, she will only be 66.
Okay.
But man, God, I had a crush on her. I'll tell you,
it was too much. Yeah.
I'll tell you the other one I had a huge crush on was
Susanna Hoff.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
God, massive crush. Marquis Post and Susanna Hoff of the Bengals were those were my muses.
And Belinda Carlisle.
Yes. All right. The draft is 2 weeks away, Jason.
Who will the Kings have a crush on?
Pick number 42. Jason, you've done the work. You've put together the best 42nd picks in NBA history. I would take any of these. Number 1, Steven Jackson. Actually, I don't know if you...
No particular order.
Zaza Pachulia. Patrick Beverly. Bruce Brown. Davis Bertans, or as my kids say, Davis Croutons. And Thomas Bryant.
He's in the finals.
He is in the finals.
The point of that was like you can get a player at 42 and they can make an impact on your team. There's probably more times than not that the 42nd pick never plays an NBA minute. That's all they've got. There are some rumors that the Kings are trying to get into the first round.
Yeah,
I'm sure they should try. I don't know how you do it.
Trae Young.
You don't like that rumor. Darius Garland.
I'm really Darius Garland. First off, I can't offer a full comment on it because I don't know what the trade is.
Yeah.
Now, would I like Trae Young on the Kings? Sure. That would fill the point guard spot. Talking about a guy who's 26, averaging, 25, 30 points a game, leading the league in assists. That's pretty good. Now, what are we giving up for him?
Right.
Is my question. How much of our future, if any, are we mortgaging? It's impossible for me to comment on it because I don't know what the hell the deal is. And part of me goes, well, Trae Young is quite under 500 for his career. Trae Young also does not play a lick of not a lick of defense.
Took one team to the conference finals.
He did. He absolutely did. Helped end Ben Simmons' career as we knew it.
Yeah.
So part of me, look, if I'm the defense attorney, and I do think I can make compelling cases on both sides of this trade. Again, assuming it's not like everybody and your next 9 firsts. If I'm the defense attorney, I'm saying, look, you're bringing in a guy. These guys don't grow on trees that can score 25 points and have 10 assists a game. Like you're bringing in. There is an argument that Trae Young is at that position the closest player in the league to Steph Curry that there is.
Right.
He ain't Steph Curry, trust me. But it's like Sabonis is the closest to Jokic type of conversation. If you were somehow, because obviously if Zach LaVine was part of that trade, let's go. But I think the prevailing wisdom.
So you do that part just because you're getting out of Zach's contract.
Yes,
I would getting a good player.
I would rather have Trae Young than Zach LaVine.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's not what it would be. So you're looking at a team that has both LaVine and Trae Young. So it's like, let's go. Fine, let's go. Also, you get him out of Atlanta, which is notoriously not a great basketball town. He comes here. These fans, who knows? Maybe he's the next big thing to build around. That's fine. And he's young.
Would Garland intrigue you more, or
wouldn't intrigue? I think Garland might fit better on a championship team. But I think
it's not that.
Here's my prosecuting attorney. Why? If I was a franchise that was routinely grouped in with the bottom 5 teams in the league when it comes to where you are now and where your future is, a team that has suffered a lot of horrible PR and has absolutely dismal excitement going into next season, no draft picks, the stink of what happened last year, and the general malaise that this fan base has. If I was of a certain thought, that's the type of move that I would instruct people to make in order to get people a little excited, with no regard to, are we building towards a championship? Right. With no regard to, is this going to get us more wins and make us a better playoff team? More of points. This is a very this is a second cousin to acquiring Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I agree.
He's a good player.
Yes,
he's a good player,
an all-star.
But this is a fantasy basketball move, in my opinion. This is not whereas Darius Garland, a little bit more of a. But again, hell, I would rather, I'd rather save a little bit of coin and do the less flashy thing.
I feel like, it's a tricky spot that Scott Perry is in. I can acknowledge that. But I would hope in this offseason, if they can execute this would be my thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even player specific. It would be more so when the summer is done. So whether that's draft, free agency, and other acquisitions, we go, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, but then we go, wow, they cleaned house. That's the plan. Wow, they not even save money. I guess that's a plan. That's never really been, I don't think, Vivek's MO. But his MO has been to be competitive and to try to be a playoff team. I appreciate that. They haven't executed that very well. And I think the Trae Young idea, depending on what the return or what they would be giving up, feels like, hey, let's stay in that playoff bubble. And I would think they would stay in a spot where I'd go, yeah, starting next year, they could finish 6th through 12th. 6 sounds good.
Sure.
12th doesn't. 10th, 9th doesn't. But I would hope there's like some direction where you go, you know what? We're going to keep LaRavia. We're going to want Keegan, Keon, Monk, whatever. Like these are kind of our foundation pieces. We don't have a guy. We don't have the guy, but we're working to get the guy. And so, or whatever. I just wish there was kind of it feels like they've got talent. They've got some assets. The fits aren't great. It's not empty, but it also is just kind of going to the middle. And like I said, the high middle would be a 6 seed to me, a 5 seed. That's super. Everything went right. The other spot is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and they're all kind of the same. Man, maybe get through the play-in. Like this year, the optimism was get through the play-in. Sure. They would have lost OKC.
They absolutely would have.
So they're basically in that spot. Oh, they didn't get through the play-in. Okay, well, they didn't win the lottery. They don't have a pick. They traded De'Aaron and kind of did that same, like, okay, again, we go back to that trade. If they had traded De'Aaron and you went, wow, even if they didn't get Castle or some of those young players, you're like, they got 4 first-round picks.
Sure.
All right, that's the plan.
Great.
But you got a new GM that wasn't a part of the other trade. It's just, they got to sort through it. It's not an easy fix. You can't get there in one move. They're not one player away either direction, really. But I just hope they kind of get to a plan and start executing it and working on it.
Darius Garland has played in 59, 54, 68, 69, 57, and then last year 75 games, but is most likely going to miss time to start the next year as he's got this massive foot surgery he just went under. To say I'm worried about his durability is an understatement. Also, if I told you, hey, Jason, did you know that Darius Garland made more money than Donovan Mitchell this year? Would that surprise you? Because he did. 36.7 this year, 40 next year, 42 the year after, 45 the year after that. If you're wondering why is he available. Now back to your point about Scott Perry. When he took over the Knicks front office in 2017, he inherited a roster of 15 players. In his first offseason, 4 of the 15 were free agents: Derrick Rose, Sasha Vujic, Justin Holiday, former King, and Ron Baker. The only one of the 4 to return was Baker. Another 3 were waived: Marshall Plumlee, Maurice Dower, and Chasen Randall. Carmelo Anthony was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. In the first few months of Scott Perry's tenure, 7 of the original 15 players were gone. Next year, another 2 players were lost, including Willie Hernan-Gomez. 9 of 15 after his first full season. 9 of 15 were gone. In the 2018 offseason, another 2 were gone, with Joakim Noah getting waived, Kyle O'Quinn leaving in free agency. That's 11 of 15 gone, just over a year into his tenure. Following season, another 3 were moved. Baker got waived. Courtney Lee and Kristaps Porzingis were traded to the Dallas Mavericks, which left 1 of the original 15 to finish out Scott Perry's second season with the Knicks. Lance Thomas. And Thomas was waived early in the 2019 offseason. That means in less than 2 seasons, Scott Perry, who inherited 15 players, had absolutely 0 of those left with the Knicks. Every player was gone. The Knicks went through a complete teardown, winning 29 games in the 2017-18 season, 17 in the 2018-19 season, thanks to Will Zimmerly of Sports Illustrated for those informations. If you can get James Dolan to sign off on that, please tell me you can get Vivek Ranadive to sign off on that. I'm not necessarily saying everybody's got to go.
Right.
But that, to me, all you got to do, Scott Perry goes in with an owner that doesn't have the greatest reputation. So if I was making an argument as to why Scott Perry is the perfect guy to run this team, he was able to handle James Dolan, who, by the way, makes Vivek Ranadive look like Peter Holt. He just does.
Yeah.
He was able to handle James Dolan. He was able to gut the roster. I mean, literally, he gut it like a fish. Nobody's left. By the way, we're sitting here now 6 years later. The Knicks were 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. Right. And by the way, it wasn't exactly like they drafted all those guys either. They made smart moves. The Jalen Brunson thing, trading for Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns. Like, they've done the thing. So that, if Kings fans are looking for a bright side of Scott Perry, yes, he has great press conferences. I love the Monday motivation stuff. I didn't see what yesterday's Monday motivation was, by the way. That's all fine and dandy. I do not care. He's a very nice guy. We had lunch a couple weeks ago. Very, very nice guy. Neato burrito. Great. Don't care.
Yeah.
Hey. Didn't get one.
Oh, well, he's working. They got people coming in to work out for them.
I think I'm going to
reach out to him.
I think I'm going to reach
Monday
out to him
motivation.
during the break. I'm going to say, Scott, this is the first time I've abused my connection to you now, and I'm doing it for a very good reason. Where's our Monday motivation, Scott?
We all need it. Yeah. I don't know that you have to do it as dramatically as he did in New York.
I agree with that.
But it also doesn't mean that just because you remove players or cleanse what previous regime had means that it has to bottom out. Like, some people want them to bottom out, and that means, get rid of everybody and you go right to the bottom and get a bunch of draft picks. I mean, that's possible, but you could, if there's a way to do it in a way that keeps you competitive, that's probably the sign off you can get. Now, I don't know how that's done. I mean, it might be done in the same way, and you convince someone that you're going to be competitive and you're not. Who knows? But I'm sure he's done a full look at roster, contracts, payments, and has a plan. I mean, I hope he has a plan. I'm sure he does, and just start doing it so we can all see it.
Well, let's not forget, whether you like the moves or not, it is important to understand that these moves were universally hailed when they happened. Mm-hmm. Hindsight is always 2020. But for the 20 minutes that Scott Perry was in Sacramento, he was absolutely instrumental in getting George Hill and getting Vince Carter and getting Zach Randolph all within a couple of days of each other. Those moves were universally hailed at the time. George Hill did not have a great stretch with the Kings, but coming in here, you were talking about a glue guy. George Hill on the Spurs the year before he came to Sacramento is the exact type of player we'd be looking for right now. Guy with from a good culture, vet, but still has plenty in the tank. One of those fit pieces you and I talked about. If whatever the modern day version of George Hill that year was acquired tomorrow, Kings fans would love it. I loved it. Just didn't work out. Zach Randolph and Vince Carter were obviously both towards the end of their careers, but bringing veteran leadership and bringing grit and grind to a team that, remember, was incredibly young with a baby De'Aaron Fox and trying to build around what you thought was really your first superstar in a long time. So it's not like the dude isn't connected.
Right.
It's not like the dude is going to get punked, but the trick here is to convince ownership that the fan base, if there is a clear direction, they will absolutely support a tear down build up. They will absolutely support. I honestly think they think people are just going to run for the hills. Short-term pain, long-term gain. This fan base is more. Every single poll we've put out, every single conversation we've had, it's not unanimous. There are people out there that actively don't want that. And I'm not advocating a Sixers rebuild, winning 9 games. But a Houston, a Detroit, a New York, something like that, as you said, which is there is a clear direction, and if they make sense, and you've got young guys and hustlers to rally around, no problem.
Yeah,
I think the fan base would be happy. I think the fan base would be happier next year if they were able to go that route and bring in I think they'd be happier next year with 32 wins than they were this year with 40.
Well, and the thing is, I think you could, when you watch the team sometimes, and I'm trying to think of a scenario, and maybe I'd be off base on this, but if you had last year's team that had Keegan, when they got Valanciunas, Laravia, like the hustle, Keon. I'm going to try to take any kind of, I'm taking DeRozan out.
Yeah. Levine
Sabonis, Fox.
Yeah.
Levine, those guys. And so Monk, I'll keep Monk there.
Sure. Sure. That's fair.
And kind of that core group again, that's not going to have an amazing record, but I think that team's not losing that many more games.
No, they're not. And
they're kind of in the spot they're in, like as a non-playoff team, but maybe they win 30 instead of 40.
By the way, I would put Devin Carter and Trey Lyles in there.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. Thank you. I was blanking on
I was too.
So again, I'm not trying to say that's a playoff team. No. But you weren't either with when Fox was here and Sabonis and DeRozan and then Levine.
That's exactly right.
It's a little bit like we look at the Suns. Suns had the big three. Yeah, you do.
Great.
You didn't make the playoffs.
No.
So if you took those guys out, and it was Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and I think they just would have been scrappy and competitive. Probably not have been a playoff team, but you weren't either with the highest paid team. So,
and that is where Scott Perry's big challenge is. I think. What can you get for? What can you turn DeMar DeRozan and or Zach LaVine and or DeMontis?
Yeah, if you have to go there, you go there.
What can you turn those into to plug in with the rest of those?
You don't do it just to do it, but if you can do it to where you go, okay, this is going to get us closer to a longer term path of success, then you do it.
There are assets. Hold on. Shams Charania, this isn't breaking. Shams Charania is reporting that the Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner, Rich Kleiman, are sorting through trade options with interested teams mainly featuring Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, New York. I would be shocked if it's not the Spurs or the Knicks. I really think it's going to be the Knicks, but I think San Antonio is the favorite right now. That's what it sounds like, but San Antonio is being smart in the sense of, you're not getting Castle. You're not getting number 2. So
they traded Fox.
They I know, wouldn't that be hilarious? We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch tonight, and we got a lot to watch, and then crosstalk with Alan Stiles right after this.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Less rated 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Carmichael Dave here. Golfers, listen up. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, my go-to courses in Sacramento, just dropped the best ball deal of the year. Now through June 15th, when you stop by Timber Creek and buy 2 dozen Strixon golf balls, you get the 3rd dozen for free. I did that last weekend. We're talking the same Z-Star series used on tour, plus Q-Star and Soft Feel. Whatever fits your game. It's the perfect excuse to stock up, hit the range, play some of the best conditioned golf in the region. Head to Timber Creek today and take advantage before it's gone.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the latest class of the A's Hall of Fame will be inducted before the A's play the Reds on September 13th. And what a group, including longtime A's broadcaster Monty Moore and the Big Three, Hudson, Mulder, and Zito. And when those guys pitch together in the A's rotation over a 5-year span, their combined records, 234 and 119. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Louis C.K. in an all-new show, Ridiculous 2025 Tour.
When I was younger, you had to go in the bank. Remember that? You had to go inside the bank. Now you look in the bank, you're like, what are those people doing in there? Are they cleaning? The money's out here.
Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 8 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit thundervalleyresort.com. Louis C.K. live on stage.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states. NMLS-ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I had the chance to interview former professional golfer and broadcaster Gary McCord a few years back. He hadn't yet enraged the Green Jackets with his television comments about their revered Georgia golf course. He was welcoming and above all humorous, which is why I recently picked up a copy of his book, Golf for Dummies by Gary McCord, a man possessed by golf's magical allure. This 5th edition will help new golfers learn the basics of the game and bring them, as he writes, from the darkness to the light. The book discusses types of clubs, types of courses, how to hit the ball, and how to keep score. The intent is to help you get the ball to the hole in fewer tries and with better form. You'll even find some basic exercises to get you into golf shape. It's a fun read and will help you get over some of the game's intimidation while getting you ready to visit the golf course on your own or with some friends. I always recommend a good PGA professional to guide you along the way, but Golf for Dummies is a fun way to approach a fun game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Well, you know what? You ask, you shall receive. We have not breaking news, but we're going to play it anyways as a follow-up here. Give me the breaking news bed, if you would. It's not real breaking news.
When it breaks,
not real.
We have it first.
Just having fun.
Sacktown Sports breaking news.
Well, You know what? We speak for the people. Spoke to General Manager Scott Perry during the break, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
He admitted, didn't skirt around it either. He admitted that he did not post a Monday motivation on Twitter as he had been. Okay. And before I wanted to give him a chance. Still new here. And, he said, and I quote, "You tell everybody I have been so dang busy on Kings stuff, draft, prep, everything else. I just quite frankly forgot. I apologize, and I will be back on it next Monday."
Okay.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. I would much rather what I don't want is to hit the breaking news banner and it's up. The Kings were this close to this trade. That would have been amazing. But Scott was busy doing Monday motivations on Twitter. I'm fine with it being this way.
Now we know.
It's actually kind of a funny conversation because I was like, "Hey man, I got something." I did kind of it was my first bit I did with him. I was like, "Look, I got something really important to bring up. The fans are up in arms. Where is your Monday motivation, Scott?" Well, there you go. From the 916, "I'm good on a Detroit rebuild. No thanks." I'm fascinated by these people. What do you mean these people? I mean, what do you mean no thanks? Now, look, I tend to try to corral myself because, hey, Dave, your way is not always the right way. You're stupid. And all of that's true. My way is not the right way, and I'm stupid. The Detroit Pistons were 44-38 last year and are considered one of the more up-and-coming teams with a bright, bright future in this league. Now, there is no guarantee, Jason, as you were always pointing out, and you're 100% right. There is absolutely no guarantee that Detroit is going to do anything anywhere with anyone at any point. By the way, Detroit, let me just look this up. Yep, here we go. Detroit had the lowest payroll in the league last year. They have a ton of room. They have young players. They're exciting.
You're okay with having one of the worst seasons in the history of the sport. The longest losing streak in the history of the sport.
I'm going to say something that's going to sound like hyperbole, and I cannot stress enough how much I mean this. Every single word I'm about to say. If you told me that the year after next, we would be on a path to be Detroit, and I don't know what's going to happen after, but let's say within the next 2 to 3 years, we would be at that level. But in order for that to happen, we would have to go 0-82 next year, which obviously would break the streak. And our average margin of loss would be somewhere in the low 20s. Sign me up tomorrow. My philosophy.
The path that's Detroit now.
That where you put us, if I knew that 3 years top, 2 to 3 years tops from next year, we would be sitting here on this show or on a beach somewhere, depending on where we are, saying we have one of the lowest payrolls in the league. We have one of the youngest teams in the league. We made the playoffs last year. We were 10 games over 500, and the future is bright. My philosophies on the Kings are actually incredibly simple when they're broken down to their core.
Yeah.
If you are not winning a championship, if you are not contending for a championship, you must be on a clear path towards those two things. And if you are not, if your ceiling now and in the future is below a championship based on current construction, you are failing. You are failing. I don't care about the plan. I don't care about an 8 seed. I don't care about a 6 seed if that's our ceiling. Now and in the future, if we are topped out, as I believe we are right now with this roster,
right?
Don't care. Yeah. It's a failure. I don't care. I would rather miss the playoffs by 20 games, have a chance at a high lottery pick, have a chance in the lottery, be young, dumb, stupid, not know what's going on, but have a clear direction that we're building towards and stockpiling assets, then make the playoffs as a 6 seed and lose in the first or second round.
Yeah, I think that, when you do comps to other teams, it's always a little tricky too, because I mean, there could be an argument, not the same age or payroll, but 2 years ago, the Kings were the 3 seed.
Yes.
And the darlings, and having all the awards and acknowledgments, and probably some thought, look at this run they're on. Look what they're about to be on. And here we are.
That's right.
2 seasons later. So there's no promises to Detroit, though I get what you're saying. I mean, to be a low payroll, to have made the playoffs this year, to have what seems to be a bright future. But I mean, what if they're the 11 seed next year?
And we
just don't know how. There's no guarantees to anybody.
It's 100% the trick. What the Kings did is a blueprint for what not to do. Monty McNair came in, Mike Brown came in, and they were executives of the year 2 years later. They were given basic autonomy. They did the things they needed to do. They got lucky with Halliburton. Let's just face it. That was fortunate. They went for it and were aggressive with the Halliburton Sabonis move. And they had a core of a young De'Aaron Fox, not a baby De'Aaron Fox, but still young, beginning of his prime. A Sabonis that was just right smack in the middle of his prime. The Keegan Murray, I don't need to rehash that. And then 2 things happened. Number 1, they got gun shy. And number 2, meddling started to happen.
Yeah. And both impacted in their own ways, right?
And they completely forgot about what got them there. They went against the best practices that got them there. They started making all of the win now moves that you can't do. They didn't do the smart. If you're going to do a win now move, you go get Pascal Siakam, who would have come here if the Kings had maxed him out like Indiana did. They didn't want to do that, so Siakam didn't want to come here. They could have Siakam and Sabonis and Keegan Murray and De'Aaron Fox, and then who cares after that? That is a top 6 team in the West, barring injury, blah, blah. They didn't do it.
Yep.
They didn't do it. And for it to culminate with the Fox, I'm just going to call it the Fox debacle, where you have a combination of a player that is so fed up with this franchise, so fed up with the lack of direction, and somebody who from the inside saw this spiraling down.
Yep.
Kings fans, there are many Kings fans that say he wanted out, he screwed us. You have to hold on to the fact. It's not me defending De'Aaron Fox. It's me pointing out the obvious. You had the franchise player on the inside point his finger at the franchise and say, you guys are not, I do not trust the next 7 years of my career with you. Please send me elsewhere. I want to go to this up and coming team. And they did. And they even botched that. Scott Perry's got his work cut out for him, but it's not impossible. You know what? Teams have been in a lot worse positions and have figured it out.
Yeah.
The Knicks were in probably a worse position when Scott. Honestly, that'd be an interesting guess, or that'd be an interesting question that I don't know. I would love to ask that of Scott off air sometime because I don't know what kind of answer. I honestly think the Kings are in a far better position than the Knicks were when he took over. They had Carmelo Anthony. That was their big asset, but that was their Zach LaVine.
Right.
Huge contract, not the great, Zach's got a better reputation. And does he impact winning? How I know nobody wants to put Zach LaVine and Carmelo Anthony in the same sense, but honestly, in the pretty similar situations. And then whatever else, I think the Kings actually have more when you add in Sabonis and DeRozan, they actually have more A-level, B-level talent than the Knicks did at the time. So that's the best I can do for optimism, but I think it's legit optimism.
Yeah.
A's Angels tonight, Giants at Rockies game 2. And we've got game 3 of the NBA Finals, 5:30. Oklahoma City and Indiana knotted up at 1. OKC, a 5.5-point favorite. We'll break. We'll come back. Crosstalk with Alan Stiles and Celebrity Birthdays next.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant.
How much more?
Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The high-pitched panic guy who says, "Are you serious right now? This is ridiculous!" is nothing new. That's why Big O is replacing car worries with great deals during our Big O Worry Less-a-thon. Now through June 22nd, buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Big O branded tires with installation purchase. Plus, you'll get our ProTech Plus warranty for free to put future maintenance worries to rest. It's the Worry Less-a-thon, now at Big O, the team you trust. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Join Sky River Rewards today for a chance to receive up to $2,500 in free play. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit us to see how. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey!
Hey!
How many followers you have. I never check my follower account. I really don't.
You know, can I just say, anybody out there, because you know how it'll barely fluctuate. I've been sitting at 4,989, 990 for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Can I just get 10 here?
We'll
Can you just get me over the top? You already follow me, Dave.
I'm saying, I know.
Don't tweet that.
No, I'm going to say, let's get Alan to 5,000. If I tweet it, then it sounds like you don't care.
I don't need a stimulus package.
You just said it on the flamethrower, Sacktown Sports.
That's all. Just get me to 5, man.
But I don't.
Then you want to be to 6.
Eventually.
And then 7. And then 8.
Some of these numbers are crazy, though. Like, I've been grinding for a while here just to get to 5. I'm not insinuating anything, but some of these numbers around, maybe it's just old school Twitter. I don't know, because it's taken me a really long time to get to 5.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know how to. I don't know.
Dave, what are you in the teens or are you in the 20s?
I don't know. Hold on, let me finish your.
No, Dave, don't.
Just
don't.
man. Followers.
I'll look it up. Dave's got like 50,000.
5.
Dave, you're at, see that?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you. I'm gonna look it up.
Is it people that left the platform?
Wow, 63,000.
Oh, see, I'm not gonna say. How did you do that?
I bought them. I bought them all.
Go look through.
Half of them are bots.
Yeah, they're all bots.
60,000.
I don't. The way people try to whip out follower count like it's a whatever.
I unfollow. I just
Dave,
unfollowed
come on,
Alan.
man.
What? Come on, what?
I
What
don't
I
like
do?
to be told what to do. I unfollowed Alan.
No. If Dave, this is how we know if Dave is real or not.
Yeah.
If Dave gets me to 5K, then his 60K are legit. If not,
No, yeah, they're not. And I only follow like 500 people, which I think is a lot. But I see people out there like follow like 5,000 people. So I'm like, I don't even know how do you?
Yeah.
How many do you follow? I mean, again, you follow 1,000 people, man.
but some of those are to try to get them to follow me. I'll double check. I'm super petty. If I don't I give you 24 to 48 hours.
Wait, you're a follow back guy?
I will follow other media members back.
But then once they follow you, then do you?
No.
go away?
Oh. If they don't follow me,
Right, then
if we're kind of on the same level, like if Shams doesn't unfollow me, obviously, but if you're kind of on the same level as me and you don't follow me back, quick hook, man. Quick hook.
Really?
I'm talking about people my level. If you're above me,
Superstars.
Then, yeah. Well, yeah.
Did you stop following me after I didn't follow you forever?
No, because we worked together, and I knew I would
gotcha.
eventually guilt trip you into following.
That's a good point. Well, let's get Alan up there, shall we?
I want to see if Dave's got the pull.
Probably not
To get me there.
I told you they're all.
Come on,
they're
bots,
all,
activate.
they're all bots. I said, hey, it's at the _ stuff. The problem is that your name is tough, dude.
No, that's not the problem.
At the _ styles, but it's STILES files.
Let's see.
Needs like
Oh, it's working.
You're 5 away now.
Dave.
How many are you away now?
Dave didn't buy. We're 5 away now.
And how many were you away?
You got me 4 in about 2 minutes.
There we go. All right.
Wow, Dave's legit, man.
Legit.
This
Isn't
guy,
that great?
I had him completely wrong.
Yeah, I'd be completely wrong.
This whole time.
It's the only reason I still have a job here, probably, is because they.
When we go golfing, Arnold Palmy on me, huh? Add Morgan Creek.
I just had an Arnold Palmer yesterday at my house. A little lemonade and iced tea.
How do you skew more? Let me guess. He's got to skew more. Oh, actually, this is a tough one.
No,
I'm gonna say
skews more.
I'm gonna say lemonade. Am I way? Yeah.
Iced tea.
I would call it. I wouldn't say it's a splash of lemonade. I'd say it's a handful of lemonade.
It's a cannonball.
Yeah, it's a cannonball of lemonade. I just want a little bit of a tang in there.
Okay.
I'm a sweet tea guy though. I make my own.
You strike me as a guy who just drinks it, no sugar.
Hold on, I just said I'm a sweet tea guy.
Yeah.
And I strike you as a guy that drinks it with no sugar.
Yeah, just tea. Just cold iced tea.
Sweet tea. Lots of sugar.
Sweet tea.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Has
you
a
don't
ton of
strike.
sugar.
Yeah, you don't strike me as that guy.
Oh, after I just said I make my own sweet tea?
Yeah, you strike me as just old school.
No. Makes total sense.
Old school, you know. That's why your picture's up down the hall.
I make my own sweet tea, and my secret when people come over and they say, "Wow,
Sugar.
that's a great glass of sweet." Yeah, you got to have the sugar in there. You have to put the sugar in when it's hot so it dissolves, right? But here's the key, guys, and then we'll move on. I'm passionate about this. I take a pot of water. I put 2 Lipton tea bags in there, regular old tea, right? Decaf, by the way. All this is always decaf. And I put a pack of decaf Earl Grey. Then I take a teaspoon of baking soda and throw that in there. So that's what I let steep in a separate pot. 2 cups of sugar, 3 cups of water, so I can make my simple syrup so it's already dissolved. And it blends in, and the baking soda Hey, the baking
Ran out of
soda,
time.
it gives you that, you can't put your finger on it, that soft flavor of the tea when it hits your lips. I should bring some in sometime.
You should.
Are you a sweet tea guy?
I am.
Yeah, I like mine without sugar.
I skew more lemonade, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with Alan.
Lemonade's okay. It's fine. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies, dunk them in lemonade. Who knows? Back to you.
Hey, we got several movies today that debuted on this day. Good movie selection. Jurassic Park. On this day in what year?
I got 2 numbers. Neither of them may be correct.
I was looking at my mentions for something else. Here's Raymond on X. He's verified, by the way, and he says, followed, no Kings. Where are we at now? Let's get a Twitter follow update.
We get to $5,000 yet?
We get to 5. I want to get to 5 by the end of the show.
I think we're close, guys.
Let's see. You should have it up.
5,002, baby.
Look at that. Look at that.
Let me unfollow.
Look at that. Yeah, I'm unfollowing too. Put you right at 5,000. Awesome. Jurassic Park was 1996.
Oh, I was 90. I was gonna say 90. Yeah, I'm gonna go 94 then.
Can I change mine? I'm gonna say, you know what? Am I allowed to change mine? Sure. I'll say 93.
Okay, I think Alan's right, but I'm going to go 95.
We have a correct answer. It's Carmichael Dave, 1993.
It's actually Christopher Lott on my watch. He tested it.
How about Napoleon Dynamite?
Ooh, I love that. What's her name? Sheila? Who's the
Tina?
Tina, come get your dinner. Napoleon Dynamite was 2004. Love that.
That sounds right. 06.
05.
Oh, we have a correct answer. It goes Carmichael Dave, 2004.
That one was not Chris.
Ferris Bueller.
Chris in
a row.
Ferris Bueller's 1980. Oh, it's going to be one of these. 5?
84.
83.
Dave was closest, 86.
I knew
E.T.
That would be 1980. Oh, it's one of 3 years. I'll say 82. I'm going to be one off if I'm not right.
83.
81.
Dave's right, 82. All right, happy birthday to Joe Montana.
Oh. Joe Montana is 66.
Joe Montana is 64.
65.
I win.
Yeah, Dave's close to 69.
Yeah. Nice. Alan.
Is KD running from the grind?
Is KD running from the grind?
And our trade candidate of the day, local product. That's all I got to say.
Local product.
You don't want to miss
local
this.
Product.
All coming up on the Alan Style Show.
Bye-bye now.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock.